everyone. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, October 22nd. I'm here with Al, Brandon, and Lindsay. Good morning, everyone.
Hey,
morning. I'm in red.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Tori. Let's get right to it. Just want to let everybody know. Well, the president called the impeachment inquiry against him a, quote, lynching. Trump tweeted, all Republicans must remember what they are witnessing here, a lynching. And fellow Republican Senator Lindsey Graham agrees with the president's assessment. Take a look at what Graham had to say.
I think that's pretty well accurate. This is a sham. This is a joke. I'm going to let the whole world know that if we were doing this to a Democratic president, he would be all over me right now. So yeah, this is a lynching in every sense. This is un-American.
On the other hand, many Democrats and actually many Republicans are outraged by the comparison, like Susan Collins, who tweeted, lynching brings back images of a terrible time in our nation's history, and the president should never have made that comparison. Really quick, another Republican, Michael Steele, just tweeted this at Lindsey Graham. I just wanted people to see it. He said, Trump, this is not happening to you, and it's pathetic that you act like you're such a victim, but it did happen to 147 black people in your state, Lindsey. A lynching in every sense. You should know better. So we are kind of trying to stay away. I'm just going to be honest with the audience. We wanted to not go Trump, Trump, Trump all the time. And it was a nice break, I think. But this really, because of our diverse opinions and our panel in the morning meeting, we all thought this we couldn't let go for you guys, DBL Nation, and for us. So, Lindsay, how did you feel waking up to this news?
I think that the word is used properly. It is pathetic to use the word lynching to get your point across. I don't think that that's a good statement to make ever, unless it's an actual lynching we're talking about historically.
Yeah.
I think when an African-American said it, the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, who was going through his confirmation hearings in 1991, he called his process a lynching too when he was getting attacked. And I think he meant it in the same way, but that's not the appropriate word choice. If we're going to try to dig through it and like remove the word for a second and see what he's trying to say, which is not, still shouldn't have said it, stand by that. He's trying to say that he's been actively getting impeached. They've been seeking that from the day before he got in office, leading up to 6 months after he got in office, and until current day, 4 years into his presidency. So it's like, what is happening? Either move forward if they have all the documents they need to impeach him. Why not move forward? If they don't have the full case, why are we still sitting here not impeaching him? I think he's just waiting for that response. What are we doing? And he's just trying to retaliate. Like, what is the actual outcome here?
I hear what you're saying, and I do think that's a fair point that many Americans think. I hypothesize. Okay, thanks. Hypothesize that he did it deliberately, using that word, knowing it's a dog whistle, right? Knowing we're all going to be talking about that, so that a full news cycle goes by and we don't talk impeachment or Turkey. So, now, really quickly, also in 2005, he went on Howard Stern and said, I at The Apprentice wanted to make an all-white team against an all-black team, and then Stern said, well, won't that create kind of a racial war? And he goes, yeah, but look at the ratings. I think he deliberately wants to create racial tension as chaos to do stuff over here that no one discusses.
And I don't think that he's that masterfully thought out to have thought about in the morning, I'm going to wake up and cause chaos in this tweet. I think that he actually just was knee-jerk reacting.
I don't think it takes
I know, but he's just knee-jerk reacting, in my opinion, doing what he does. I actually live this every day, right? So I'm a black woman who walks in and hear people say ignorant things that they don't relate to because it's not their history.
Totally.
And they say it, and I can't think that every single time they're trying to bring me down and cause mass chaos. It's just that they're ignorant. It's not their story.
But you really don't think he uses dog whistles all the time, the birtherism, the Central Park Five, the racial tension he loves to create. You don't think he's smart enough, a Harvard business guy, that the word lynching would be used as a dog whistle to skip a news cycle? That doesn't take a genius to do that.
We have a Supreme Court justice who used it also. I think he's just trying to effectively get your point across, but I think it was wrong to use.
I think it was deliberate. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Al. You know what? I don't think, I kind of am leaning on Team Lindsay right now, in that I don't think that he cares. I don't think he has a dog in the fight. The word lynching,
you don't think he uses a dog whistle?
I don't think it means what it means to anybody else, because I think for that word to mean anything to him, he'd have to be invested in the history of this country, and I don't think he thinks about anybody but himself.
No, he has to manipulate the history, not be interested or care.
But to your point, I don't think that he's stirring up any kind of remember, he didn't shut down "the Jews will not replace us" being chanted in the streets of Charlottesville, and after that we've had 2 shootings at synagogues. That's basically allowing for a Jewish something has been debunked. Yeah. Obviously people think that Jewish people are let's not go there.
Well,
so that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's against it, but I don't think he's thought that deeply into it.
I think he's playing you.
I'm Team Tory on this one, because in 2019, we know there are certain words and phrases you cannot use.
Right.
And then when we talk about the Dior campaign with using savage in the Native American imagery with Johnny Depp, we talk about H&M, coolest monkey in the jungle. You're either doing it for promotion and free marketing because you know people are going to talk talk about it,
Right.
or you're doing it for distraction in this case.
Brandon,
Or you
there's
didn't
a
have
part-
enough black people in the room to tell you that's not okay.
I don't
There
think
is no way Trump doesn't know that lynching is a word that would take the entire news cycle away in an instant.
I don't
The
think
news
so.
cycle's not
You are
about
getting
it.
plenty of
We're not talking about the Kurds. We're not talking about Syria
But the
right
whole
now.
conversation is about whether or not he's going to get impeached.
All right.
Or is it talking about the lynching? Let's talk about DBL Nation and what you guys all think about it, because we had a good discussion up here.
Yeah.
All right, Michael Douglas and his son Cameron are opening up about Cameron's struggles with drug addiction. The two spoke with Diane Sawyer about their family life, and Michael revealed how hard it is as a parent not to totally blame yourself. Take a look.
I'm just, laughing because you rack your brain. You take it personally. In the beginning, you start blaming yourself. Then you look at your genetic makeup. My career was first.
That's your choice, honey. That has nothing to do with
My
me.
career came before my family.
So what's on your mind, Kimasabi?
My marriage was not great, and so you do hide yourself in your work.
Cameron spent 7 years behind bars, including, get this, 2 years in solitary confinement. Cameron Douglas is now 40 years old. If you don't know, Michael Douglas's own father, Kirk Douglas, is an icon. So it's a whole family of huge men, and I wonder if Cameron felt pressure.
And he did say that he was sad that he wasn't able to be as present as he should have been in his son's life. I think that there's some personal responsibility, but also as a father, I'm sure Al's the father on the panel, you could see that guilt is building up on both of them in the interview of
Well,
what
I think
happened.
A lot of our viewers, and I mean your parents, my parents, it's a balance that every parent has to do. We live in the United States of America, and what does that mean? We have a lot of freedoms, but we also have to work all the time. How many people, I mean, the phrase side hustle is in our national consciousness because everyone has a second job.
Yeah.
People leave their job,
Gig
get in their
economy,
car and
yeah.
turn on their Uber,
Right.
and now they're a taxi driver. Everybody has to work. So even if you're not Michael Douglas, it's you have to balance. Do I save for college? Do I get Brandon braces? But at the same time, if I'm working, I'm not going to be home with Tori.
Right.
She's going to be vulnerable from 3 to
There's no
7.
balance. Yeah. There's no
I can't take her in.
balance.
So I think everybody watching, everybody that's a parent, is scared to death that they're not going to be able to be there for their kids. But at the same time, we're scared to death that you're going to say, "Hey, Dad, can I have $200 for the ski
You don't
trip?"
have it.
And I'm going to say no. So like, how do you balance that?
And you know what myth I think this debunks is that how black fathers not being present in their household really affected the kids, because we're talking about Michael Douglas here, white guy, celebrity, all types of fame, can give his kid whatever he wanted, but he chose to go go after
Pursue
his
his
career,
career.
pursue the career. And not being present in that son's life, you see the downward spiral in the life that this kid went ahead and chose to take. So, I mean, I understand that we can talk about, celebrityism and what are you going to go after, and that kid gets anything and everything he wants. But I just looked at this and kind of thought of it in another way about how these young men need
I think the
fathers
story
present
relates
in
to
their
every
lives.
parent
Yeah,
in
it's
your
very
worst
relatable,
fear.
actually. Yeah, I think you're right. Absolutely right. Well, a surprise announcement, guys, from Nicki Minaj. Mazel, she just revealed she's married to this man.
Me?
Kenneth, no, Al, no.
That's Hood Al.
To Hood Al. No, this is Kenneth Zoot Petty. She confirmed the news with this Instagram video showing Mrs. and Mr. Muggs, along with hats that read bride and groom. Now, is this a good move or is this trouble? I know Lindsay knows a lot about
Here we
this.
go.
I haven't followed
So
this
go ahead.
closely.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Take it away.
So basically, her and Ken have been knowing each other since they were kids, right? And so as soon as she posted this mystery man on Instagram, everybody's like, "Who is that?" And they realize that they do, digging. Fans do that, and they realize he has a criminal past. So people are like, "Don't marry him." So one of the things is. He went to prison in 1995 for an attempted rape, which Nicki Minaj responded to saying he was 15, the girl was 16, and in a relationship. Y'all are not about to ruin my happiness. So we don't know all the details there. He did go to jail for it, and then in 2002 he pled guilty for manslaughter. So these are not any small charges, but I mean,
Whoa, wait, hold up.
yeah, it's a lot. When we were digging into it, I was like, I understand young love, trying to me and you against the world, but I just hope she's making the right decision.
Yeah,
I really like Nicki Minaj.
But he's known her since she was Anika, her real name.
Oh, Nika, yeah.
Back in the days, because if you think about it, we're going to be like, oh no, she needs to be with this next rapper. She needs to be with this celebrity. That's not real love. You don't know her from what she's been through, that sort of thing. This guy does. So we can say like, oh, she could be with Drake, but Drake has his own demons.
But
like,
manslaughter is different than a demon.
That's the thing. That's all I'm saying.
Very forgiving.
I'm trying to go.
Look, I will say this.
People could be on the wrong side of the law, and it could be a bad circumstances in a row. world that happened to this man. Who knows?
I'm gonna say I was at, first of all, not bragging. I was at the Botanical Gardens on Sunday.
Okay. All right.
Ran into a woman and her husband that watched the show. Started talking to her while I was getting coffee, and what she told me is that she reunited with him. She lived in Vancouver, Washington, moved down to Denver because she commented on Facebook they were high school sweethearts, hadn't seen each other in 24 years, moved back here. And I think that has to do with a lot of people. I think that you connect with your childhood, and as we get further and further into adulthood, we kind of look for that connection, that our root. And she knew it from back in the day.
But what if that connection has a manslaughter charge?
I guarantee you, depending on where you're from, you might know a lot of people with manslaughter charges. You might, and a lot worse. There's a lot of different parts of this country that we don't talk about where that's not that shocking.
All right, let us know how you guys feel. DBL, we're live, and coming up, actor and TV host Alfonso Ribeiro dishes on the possibility of a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot. Don't miss chatting with the stars, and you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Some airports are allowing you to go past security without a ticket.
Boo, boo, boo.
Al loves it. Is this a good idea or a security threat? Your comments coming up next.
We're looking for
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, where we talk about what?
You're talking about.
No.
Sorry, I keep screaming stuff out by accident.
I feel like you lost confidence in it. What you're talking about?
Hold it down for the strong side.
Because wow, that was great. All right, if you live in one of these 3 cities in the U.S., your local airport could be your actual destination. Guess what I'm doing there? New programs in Pittsburgh, Tampa, and Detroit can get you through TSA to enjoy food courts and shops, plus more time with loved one, all without a boarding pass. This access to terminals still requires proper identification, but some travelers fear new security threats and more traffic. So DBL Nation, are you on board with this?
That sounded like me here.
I know.
Okay,
Sorry.
so Kathy from Facebook says, I have a hard enough time making my flights already. Amen, Kathy. So go to the mall if you want a food court. Part with your loved ones at the curb and keep it moving.
I love this woman.
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta agree. They said people can shop, eat, check out art, people watch, Ain't nobody got time for that, right? We're trying to get to the plane. I get there with 45 minutes to make my flight. I don't have time. Somebody wants to people watch standing in front of me. Get on another line.
Oh, there we go. L'Oreal from Facebook says, I can't stand airports. Who in their right mind goes there just for fun? Mad people, L'Oreal, mad people. But I mean, I kind of...
You agree with me?
Here I go. I agree with Lindsay on this one.
Wow.
Like, it's all about getting the TSA lines are already long enough, and they're already understaffed enough. If this is going to create more jobs for TSA, because they'll open up a separate security lane for those people who don't have a ticket to board a flight, then I'm okay with it. But don't just have them in the lines just there so they can check out art.
You have Clear anyway, so you cheat.
That's not clear. I'm just not cheap.
Stop talking about Clear. I don't want anybody to know about it. Okay, Cody from YouTube says, growing up, my dad would take me to the airport to watch planes take off. It was better than the zoo. I'm about to be a dad. I hope to share that memory with my child.
We feel like jerks now.
Cody, wow. I thought I was the only person I lived on the west side of LA for a long time, and you could see the planes take off, and I used to do that with my kids. We try and call what airline was flying in. So yes, I'm all over that. What I'm not all over, Cody, is just like being in the actual terminal, because a lot of times when you're at the airport, you're usually running for a flight or moving quickly towards a flight, and 5-10 extra people that are there just to kind of wander around could really slow the process down. So I'm kind of anti that. If you want to people watch, go to the park. If you want to shop, go to the mall, or this little thing on Amazon. It's really cool.
You guys are haters. Jonna from Facebook says, I hope they beef up security. More people make airports more of a target. Yeah, first of all, I don't think it's
Shop at Target.
Can I talk?
Sorry.
All right, thanks. I don't think it's going to be an enormous amount of people coming in all of a sudden, taking up your line to get into like McDonald's early morning breakfast. And also for disabled people and young people and soldiers, that's super important.
Of course, we're going to incorporate them, Tori. But what about the people that just want to be romantic and drag 100 red balloons up there? Now I'm behind that. No, do that at home.
To you with spare time, it's a good thing. If you're in a rush,
I don't have
and
spare
it's
time.
I kind of think it's romantic.
14 jobs. I don't.
You really do.
Time.
All right, you can convince me a little bit. All right, get ready for some 80s nostalgia. Sorry, Raquel, what's going on?
I like
well, Dory, there's another reboot in the works, and this time it's for Facts of Life. Now, almost all the original cast is coming together for a movie, and it's just in time for the holiday season. It's going to be called You Light Up My Christmas, and it's coming to, you guessed it, Lifetime. The original Facts of Life ran from 1979 to 1988. Charlotte Rae, who played Mrs. Garrett, passed away last year, but the rest of the show's stars are on board. Now, the movie version comes out December 1st.
You Light Up My Christmas.
I thought you were going to sing the song.
No, I don't know that song.
You take the good, you take the bad.
Oh, you
something,
take
something.
the facts of life.
Hey.
Facts of life.
Remix.
Yeah. They don't only know the chorus.
That's all we know. All right, well, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Raquel. Coming up on DBL, our own Lindsay Granger goes one-on-one with actor and TV host Alfonso Ribeiro. Is there any hope for a Fresh Prince reboot? Find out coming up next.
If you have
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. Today we're talking another makeup mistake that most of you are actually doing. It is the nastiest one of all, if you ask me. Yes, my friend, it's using an old, nasty, dirty butt beauty blender. These are terrible for you. Now, they're not always terrible, so let's break it down real quick. You can use beauty blenders, friends. Now, you can use them brand new. They're great that way. Get them a little wet, they help blend out all that full coverage makeup, and it's seamless. Perfect, keep it moving. You can also use beauty blenders if you're washing them occasionally. These are great. They're a great help when you wash them because they're keeping everything sanitary. Now you can buy a liquid cleanser or you can buy the hard cleanser to actually keep these guys nice and clean, and it'll make a world of difference. But the last thing that I want to see you do, my friend, ooh, don't make Jory for the sleigh mad. The last thing that I want to see you do is put this nasty beauty blender right back in your beauty bag and just let it sit there for 2 more weeks until you put on that full coverage makeup again. Whew, you're looking at a makeup artist's nightmare at that point, my friends, because these guys are just a sponge at the end of the day. These are collecting and harvesting bacteria that can be super harmful to your skin. So you know that last time that you broke out, you know the last time that your skin felt kind of weird and it stung a little bit, you know that last time that your makeup just didn't turn out right and it had that murky little brown tint to it? It's not because your makeup's bad, it's not because you have bad skincare, you might check out the skincare videos before, and it's not because like you're just a bad person or anything, it's because you have this nasty, dirty wop, beauty blender in your bag and you're not cleaning it or taking care of yourself. So with that being said, I have 2 things that might help you. Back to square one, clean your beauty blender. That is gonna be the first and only thing that you can really do to help yourself. And the second one is, you can just use disposable sponges instead, guys. Alcone wedges are a great alternative to beauty blenders, and you can throw them out and keep them moving, and they're super cheap. Now, for more...
Welcome back to DBL. From Carlton on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to hosting America's Funniest Videos, Alfonso Ribeiro has been entertaining audiences for over 30 years. I sat down with the Dancing with the Stars champ to talk about his new show, Catch 21, and the possibility of a Fresh Prince reboot. Take a look. Alfonso Ribeiro, welcome to DBL. We know that you're a dancing machine and won Dancing with the Stars in 2014. Is there anyone that you're rooting for this year?
I would probably have to technically root for Kel because of Whitney, that I always have to root for her. But one thing that they did this season that I absolutely love is the judges get to pick from the bottom 2. You never want to turn a show into a popularity contest. You still want the best dancer to win every season.
Right. And so, speaking of the best dancer, audiences fell in love with your dancing on Silver Spoons and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will there be any dancing on Catch 21 with Dealer and your Dancing with the Stars partner, Whitney Carson?
As soon as we come down the stairs at our introduction, we do a little move. So it's just a little something. It's a taste.
Please welcome your host, Alfonso Ribeiro, and your dealer, Whitney Carson.
Whoa! Yeah. Uh-huh. The old man still got it, huh?
You know, we can't do any routines and stuff, but it's just a little taste of some movements and some fun to start out every show. We felt like we had to give the audience a little bit of who we are together.
Oh my God, I love that. So is there going to be any Tom Jones singing? It's not unusual, maybe?
Oh, there will certainly not be any of that. Yeah, no.
No, you cut it off?
We're done with that
One
thing.
and done? Okay.
But on this game show, it's really more of the classic game where we've got 3 players, and the goal is to get to 21 or as close as possible without going over and busting those people out. So the last one standing wins that round and gets to continue. It's really understanding the strategy of this game.
I just learned how to play blackjack, and I'm pretty terrible at it. I just kind of just like throw my hands up and hope for the best. So
11 is your home base. As soon as you can get to 11, then you're looking for that face card. That's the key there.
You know the world misses Carlton Banks. So is there any chance that we will get a reboot of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Please.
I don't believe I will be part of any reboot of that, but people have wanted it for a long time and it's not happened. So I've always said there just is no Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot in any kind without James Avery. It's wonderful to look at it in reruns.
Right, keep the nostalgia going, keep a gem exactly as it was. And you guys can watch Catch 21 weeknights on the Game Show Network. Alfonso, thank you for joining us on DBL.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
My dreams of a Fresh Prince reboot are over. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Good Hair.
Right now, President Jimmy Carter is in the hospital after falling at his home in Georgia. Now, this is the 3rd time he's fallen in recent months. The first time he had to have hip replacement surgery, and then earlier this month he fell again and had to get 14 stitches. But let's be clear, our former president is a badass. After falling the 2nd time, he traveled to Nashville the next day to attend a rally for Habitat for Humanity. President Carter, we're all hoping you get well very soon. And have you ever been so sick you just can't get out of bed to get your prescription filled? CVS wants to help with that. The pharmacy chain is partnering with UPS to deliver your medicine via drone. That's right, your medicine will be flown to your house. The best part, CVS says its drones will even fly to rural areas, and fast. Sign me up. Here's a feel-good story for your Tuesday. A mom was pulled over by a Milwaukee police officer because he noticed her 2 young daughters weren't in car seats. But get this, instead of giving her a fat ticket, Officer Kevin Zimmerman decided to go above and beyond for the single mother and buy and install 2 car seats for the girls. The mom says the girls couldn't stop thanking the officer, and it put a huge smile on their faces. Way to go, Officer Zimmerman. All right, guys, this has been Fast Blast for you. Make sure you tune in later for our entertainment edition of Fast Blast with Raquel Villanueva. Bye now.
welcome back to DBL. Here's a spooky Halloween story for you. 18-month-old baby Lincoln was sleeping peacefully in his crib, but look what the baby monitor caught on camera. You see that right there? It's another baby. Luckily, in the morning, everything was not what it seemed when it was discovered. It was just a sticker on the mattress. Oh. I was just a sticker.
Tell that story about Casper.
That was a good way of feeling, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Now that Tori got
Okay, go ahead.
I don't want to end on a bummer. I just thought the concept of Casper Friendly Ghost is weird. I'll explain
You have a lot of holes in that story.
Well, it's just, if you think about what a ghost is, it's kind of depressing. I remember being a little kid like, this is depressing.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
See, that's why I didn't want to end the
Now
show
you're
with
ending
that.
on a bad note. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Brandon.
Tell a joke, Tori.
Okay, ready? Hey, Al,
What's
Brandon,
up?
and Lindsay.
What's
What's the cutest season?
Fall.
Autumn. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. If I have a job.
Thanks for saving it.
Yep, anytime.
Guys, I don't get it. Is it like autumn, like, oh, that's cute? Tori, I don't get it. Like, oh, that's cute?
Yeah, like, oh, that's cute. Autumn.
Oh, and cute don't equal each other.
Yeah, when you see something cute, you go, aw.
I guess.
It's autumn.
One of Tori's jokes. Oh, you tried.
Well, it's been well.
Okay, I've got a question for
It
you.
wasn't
Let's
a
move on.
winter.
Now that was good, Tor.
I like it.
Hey, I've got a question for you. So Kristen Bell and Shepard, they don't
forgot their fifth
they like
anniversary.
don't know when their anniversary is. Is this annoying, or is this like a cool couple who like doesn't have to keep track of their anniversary? They say it's because they love each other so much and they're grateful for every day. So every day is a special day. to
I
them.
can't ever fault them. They're couple goals, and I think
they're
true.
so cute. I
think
love
they're
them
real. I love Kristen Bell. They do good work. And he has a great podcast. Have you heard
Oh, great podcast.
Armchair Expert.
And he
It's
has a
Dak
lot of good
Shepard.
guests on
Well,
it.
it's becoming like a new Joe Rogan long form.
You're right. It totally is.
And it's like he really takes the time to go long, and he's gotten some really high-end well, she's an A-lister. And remember, he started on Punk'd. That's where Dax got
way,
his
I didn't
start.
even think about
from
that.
Punk'd.
I love their relationship. They're
Me
so
too.
cute. I said that in the morning meeting, and then everyone was like, "No, this is so annoying."
I like it still.
I like it
I
too.
will always back
Just because I
them up.
love them so much.
Kristen
DBL
Bell's
Nation,
my
let us know what you think about this. Do you think this is like ooey gooey and like too much? Let us know. All right, bye guys.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
President Trump compares impeachment to a lynching, the controversy he's now facing for that comment. Then, an important heads up for parents, how white supremacists are trying to recruit your teenagers, the warning signs you need to know. Plus, will Lori Loughlin cop a plea in her college admissions case? Why she could get a big break and serve less time than Felicity Huffman. And Michael Douglas's son breaks his silence on fame and addiction.
How close were you to dying?
Probably pretty close.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, October 22nd. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I am Sam. Let's get right to it. Well, the president called the impeachment inquiry against him a, quote, lynching. Trump tweeted, all Republicans must remember what they're witnessing here, a lynching. And fellow Republican Senator Lindsey Graham agrees with the president's assessment. Take a look.
I think that's pretty well accurate. This is a sham. This is a joke. I'm going to let the whole world know that if we were doing this to a Democratic president, he would be all over me right now. So yeah, this is a lynching in every sense. This is un-American.
On the other hand, many Democrats and even some Republicans are outraged by the comparison, like Susan Collins, who tweeted, lynching brings back images of a terrible time in our nation's history, and the president never should have made that comparison. Now, first and foremost, I know, DBL Nation, that you guys are sick of talking about Trump. We feel you, we hear you, but we think this is different. This comes from a place that is causing a lot of pain, considering our horrific history and racial injustices. So what would you say to that, Al?
I would say I don't allow this president to cause me any pain. I don't think that he cares enough to even know what he's doing. I think he just says things. And I think that he doesn't mind saying racial things because he knows that will distract from what we're really talking about. It's almost like we've all had partners that we didn't get along with that said abusive things to get you off track. If you ask them, hey, where's that $50 that was in my purse? And they say, whatever, you're just gaining weight. They want you to go the other way. So what you do is I don't do that. I don't care what his opinions are about lynching. I care about us moving forward and not getting bogged down in this nonsense. I'm not going to let this human dictate how I go about the world, and I hope more people can understand that.
Well, and I agree with you, Al. I'm always saying that all of these things, especially when they're racially insensitive, are really a way of distracting us. But I actually agree with Lindsey Graham. This is very un-American, or about it being un-American, because what is more American than lynching? The fact of the matter is the last person on record was lynched in 1981. He was 19 years old in Mobile, Alabama. That was the year I was born. When you're speaking about lynching, you're talking about without any trial or any type of justice. Just some people decided to take someone, and most of the time they were dead by the time that they got to the tree to be hung, and celebrated by an entire town who just had, like, it was a fair. Like, it was a fair. So the idea that you would use a word like that and double down is very targeted. It's very much on purpose, and I agree. It's about a distraction. But the reason why I want to speak on it is because we're also going to be talking about the fact that white supremacist groups are targeting young people who weren't around in 1981 or don't understand why lynching and knowing the history of our country is important. And it's always important to know your history, because if you don't know your history, then you're destined to repeat it. And let me be very clear, when I say destined to repeat it, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the same. So when we talk about protecting people, we have to protect everyone, because if we don't call things out for what they are, then I am going to continue to say this: no one is safe. No one.
Yeah, well, you brought up white supremacy, and that does lead us to the next story. A really frightening warning from one mom who says if you have white teenage sons, you need to listen up. Here's what she told CNN.
The alt-right, which is kind of a more comfortable way of saying not quite a Nazi, to true neo-Nazis. They've studied the way that our young men interact online, and they have looked at what these boys need, and they have learned how to fill those needs in order to entice them into propaganda.
She's also sharing words to watch out for that could tip you off that your kid is being recruited, like snowflake, which is used to mock people deemed too sensitive, especially about about issues impacting minorities. Next, feminoid or femoid, which is a sexist term used to refer to women as non-human.
Which makes them easier to assault.
That's exactly right. Cuck is an abbreviation for the term cuckold and is used as a term to insult men. And finally, the numbers 14 or 88, which are used separately or together in reference to Hitler and white supremacy. So I've been reading your comments, TBL Nation. I know that a lot of you parents out there are shocked. I guess someone that's been so ingrained in the internet for so long, this doesn't shock me because I've seen all the hatred and the vitriol and the recruitment from my very own eyes to see. But a lot of people, especially of different generations, aren't ingrained in the internet. So when you raise your two white boys, are you going to monitor their social media? Does this alarm you at all, or are you not shocked?
To be honest, I knew snowflake, kind of. I've heard that term. The other three I've never even heard of, to be honest with you. So I'm going to have to do some updating myself on what's right. So of course I'm going to monitor them. I'm going to have to. I'm going to see what websites they're on. A lot of these groups, I'm going to call them cults, because that's what they are. They're cults.
Disenfranchised,
and they prey on broken families, on broken homes, on broken children. It's the same, I don't want to get into a whole thing here with
No,
let's just say cults. I'm not going to say any one specific groups. Let's just say cults. That's exactly what they do. And they find little trigger words. They find something broken in you, and they bring you in like part of the family. That's what they do. I hopefully am going to raise my sons in a mother and parent. I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? But I'm going to look out for those things. I'm going to make sure they get the love that they need, and this doesn't happen to them. Hopefully.
What you're doing unknowingly is you and Jordan are such good parents. There's not going to be a space for somebody to get in with Lawson or Leighton.
They'll be grossed out by that type of...
They'll be like, this is going against everything I've ever heard.
Right.
A lot of times, and I actually listened to a podcast, it was about an hour long, and this guy interviewed a guy that was recruited into white supremacy, was a major leader for 10 years, and then left. And he talked about how they recruited him. He used to hang on the alleys. He had no dad. He had no guidance. He was smoking pot, kind of rudderless. They find you. They start with misogyny, like, hey, you're a good-looking guy. Why aren't these girls all over you? And you know why? Because Mexicans. And then they slowly indoctrinate you into that. But you're going to provide a space. What we need to do is we need to make sure that kids that are most vulnerable are also looked after and understand this, especially if you're a single parent, because this is the stuff that if you are a single mom or a single dad, when you're away from your kids, there's a gap where somebody.
But what about the kids, Erica, that aren't lucky enough or privileged enough to have a two-person household family, to maybe their mom is working 4 jobs just to keep the lights on at the end of the day? So does Facebook have a responsibility to weed these people out, or are they going to be protected under the First Amendment?
Well, here's the thing. If it's not Facebook, it's going to be something else. You know, this is a time for community. And I know that we are, like, half of us don't even know who our neighbors are. But the reality of the situation is, even though you have really great parents out there who do an amazing job with their children, they might be sitting next to a couple children who don't have that. And you need to know who those children are too. Because the fact is, think about how much kids want to be accepted by other children. So I think that people need to really be paying attention about who's coming into contact with your child at any point, and also keep an eye out there for children who are displaying signs like their clothes are dirty, they don't have food, they have no place to go.
They are acting out.
Exactly, because they need to be advocated for too.
Well said.
And I do want to clarify before, I know we got to move on, but you have to be very cautious these days. I'm not saying anyone from a one-person family is susceptible. No, you have to say that.
You're right.
You have to say that. I'm saying if there's abuse in the family, if there's any sort of abuse, they're more susceptible to these types of groups. So I have to be clear on that.
You also have statistics on your side with that, unfortunately. Well, speaking of parenting, Michael Douglas and his son Cameron are opening up about Cameron's struggles with drug addiction. The two spoke with Diane Sawyer about their family life, and Michael revealed how hard it is as a parent not to blame yourself.
I'm just, laughing because you rack your brain. You take it personally. In the beginning, you start blaming yourself. Then you look at your genetic makeup. My career was first.
That's your choice, honey. That has nothing to do with me.
My career came before my family.
So what's on your mind, Kimasabi?
My marriage was not great, and so you do hide yourself in your work.
And Cameron spent 7 years behind bars, including 2 years in solitary confinement. He's now 40 years old. Al, how do you not feel responsible as a parent? I mean, clearly Michael Douglas has been very forthright, transparent. Hey, I could have been a better dad. I was absent. And that will impact a child. It will. Now, does it cause drug abuse? It can lead to it, but is that the exact cause? Nobody can answer that.
Well, again, it kind of harkens back to the story we just talked about, and I'll be brief because I want to hear from you guys. I think that, let's take this away from celebrity. I think every parent, everybody, the word side hustle is ingrained in our society because everybody has to have a second job. So a lot of people are leaving their day job, turning their car on, and now they're a taxi driver. Everybody's working so much, we are now leaving large gaps of time. 3 to 6, right after school. That's when most people, young women get pregnant. It's hard to watch your kids, but at the same time, how are you going to pay for college? You got to have a second gig. If your kid needs braces, what are you going to do?
Well, how much have I said on the show that it's an investment to have mandated family leave? It's an investment to have free health care. Because guess what? People are working their tails off to afford a home, to afford their medical bills, and then at the end of the day, when you finally do give birth to a child, you got to get right back to work. So where are you investing in family life to ensure that children will be brought up more whole and less broken?
I think there's a reason why millennials are completely bucking the system. They're really trusting their own timing. How many people got married or had children because it was their time? You don't know what your timing is until you're fully prepared. Here you have someone who has all the resources in the world, and he wasn't able to make that work. We have to be okay with saying children are blessings in your time. And I think that we really got into a whole thing about this is the time to do this and this is the time to do that.
It builds resentment.
Maybe not for you.
Totally. That's a point, Erica, that I did not even think about, to be honest with you, because 23-year-old Sam may have resented having a kid. 39-year-old Sam, it's the biggest blessing to me in the world. So thank you for pointing that out. That is well said. DBL's Live coming up. Can Lori Loughlin save herself from a lengthy prison sentence if she's convicted? We'll tell you why she could take a plea deal. Plus, you know her from the hit 90s show Sister Sister, but now Tia Mowry is sharing her love of cooking with the world. Find out what she's been up to. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Some airports are allowing you to go past security without a ticket.
Calm down, Jeff.
Is this a good idea, or is it a serious security threat? Your comments next.
Well, hi everyone. Happy Tuesday. Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news, but hey, I want to know what you think about that fifth host. A really interesting one today. Please send us your comments, your DBL take. Let's go to the desk and see what's going on with our host.
Those two boys from Big Daddy, I think they're all right.
Yeah?
What's up?
Are they still relevant?
I think they're on Disney something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Zach and...
We're talking about...
Zach and Cody.
Yeah, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh, is that them?
Yeah, that's them. From Big Daddy. We were just talking,
So Cole
about...
and Dylan Sprouse are their names, right?
Yeah, we were talking about child stars that came up in, like Tia and Tamara, that are okay, that don't really have any, I guess, major drug problems or something like that.
They both seem really good, Dylan and Cole Sprouse.
So
they're super popular right now, too.
Yeah, so they came up and they're all right.
That, what was it, 15 years ago that there was some, the legislation for child stars?
Oh,
right. Interesting. 15 or 20 years ago, so I think you get like a different, not crop, but
you did. You were advocating
there's
for.
protection.
You had less hours.
Yeah, they were tutors.
Tutors, work that you would balance. You weren't there 10, 12 hours a day. You were there 6, I think. So, yeah, big difference.
How about the Olsen twins? They're billionaires, right?
I know, but
do they have some problems?
They're not right.
There's
From
some...
people that I know that have worked with them, that have managed them, they're sweet, they're polite, but they are hermits.
Oh, really?
Completely hermits, don't trust people, paranoid. I mean, can you imagine? They were such big stars.
Oh, yeah.
In strollers, they were stars.
Yeah,
you know?
in strollers.
Yeah, they are hermits. I don't think they're happy. I know, really sad.
Yeah.
Sean Austin's still working. He was a childhood star.
Yeah, Sean, and then obviously we just interviewed him. Say his name.
Alfonso
Yes.
Rivera.
Say his name. Alfonso Rivera?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, Jaleel White.
Jaleel White, yes.
Oh, right.
But I told you I did a podcast with him, and he's one of those guys. And we actually did a story about this about a year ago. Remember when it came out that Michael B. Jordan was like living with his parents? Obviously, it's a sprawling estate. But I think, and there have been...
His parents were living with him.
Yes. Yeah. And there have been athletes that have done this too. I think like the longer you have your parents around, I think that kind of is a big...
Depends on the parents, though.
DBL Nation, let us know what you...
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. Well, if you live in one of these three cities in the U.S., your local airport could be your actual destination. New programs in Pittsburgh, Tampa, and Detroit can get you through TSA to enjoy food courts and shops, plus more time with loved ones, all without a boarding pass. This access to terminals still requires proper identification, but some travelers fear new security threats and more traffic. So DBL Nation, are you on board with this? Take it away, Erica.
Who doesn't want to go enjoy $36 salad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why not?
Katrina from Facebook says, I've done this to welcome home my soldier, assist my daughter to her gate, and greet my parents upon their arrival. I love it. Katrina, I completely understand. I remember one of my most vivid memories was meeting my college boyfriend after like a big tournament at the gate, and I thought that was like the biggest thing, which makes me realize how old I am. I'm not down for this at all. Having facilitated an unaccompanied minor situation, I do understand it takes a little bit more time, but I think that that's time that's worth our security.
All right, Mary from Facebook says, for children and elderly, like Erica just said, this makes sense, but I'm worried about terrorist plotting. I'm not worried about terrorist plotting. I'll give you the child and the elderly, but come on. Give me a reason to have more people at the airport. It's already packed enough. I can't stand people as it is. Now I'm going to have to walk with you like, see you in Tampa, Julie, get out of here. You know what I mean? Leave it at this door, and then no.
But you're okay with children and elderly. Got it.
If there's a special occasion,
Yep.
you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. Okay, well, I'll get to my comment in a second. Lori from Facebook says, I think this is great. Oh, Lori, we're going to have a talk. A few years ago, my husband could only walk our children up to security. It was their first time flying, and I was worried sick. Lori, I feel you on that part. I have 2 kids that are now flying as unaccompanied minors, and you can go online. Anybody that needs to do this, you can get a special boarding pass where you can't walk them literally up into the gate.
Really?
Take their hand, give it to a flight attendant.
Great.
They walk them on, and they are the first people, the last people off.
Great.
And you can meet them there. So that's for little kids. But anybody else, I think if you're just going to see your high school boyfriend, it's going to be somebody with 100 balloons right in front of the jetway, and it's going to slow things down.
I'm okay with it.
Let's leave the airport.
I'm okay with
and go
it.
celebrate.
Look, I just dropped my parents off at the train station, and I would have loved to have driven them to the airport, walked them to the gate, like spent every little bit of time with them. I would have loved it.
Why didn't you do that?
Then you got to
You
park.
can't.
Parking's $300.
It
Then you
is.
gotta, you know what I mean? Then you gotta
It
park. Get out of here.
I think that's where the airports are making their money, is the parking. I've like died over how expensive the parking is lately.
It's a lot.
All right. Well, coming up on DBL, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon are letting us in on their fitness secrets, why their routine might not be for everyone. And Tia Mowry, one half of the hit show Sister Sister. So does she have any plans to team up with her sister again? Well, our Lindsay Granger finds out next in Chatting with the Stars.
If you
What's up, DBL Nation? You just missed this awesome catch that I just had. Sometimes you can leave football, but football doesn't leave you. We have a Twitter poll up right now talking about the 5th host that you saw the host just talk about. Should you be allowed to pass security at the airport without a ticket? Right now, 17% of you wildcats say yes, and then 83% of you all say no. The poll will be open all day long. Go ahead and go to DBL's Twitter account at Daily Blast Live, and let's get to more of your comments to keep the conversation going. Michelle on Facebook says, just before 9/11, I was waiting for my flight home at O'Hare. That's in Chicago. I observed a sketchy occurrence where there was no requirement for a boarding pass. Ray Cordoba on Facebook says, before the TSA was created and signed into law in 2001, one of the best parts about being at an airport terminal is witnessing all the love. And a word of hatred and greed, love is everywhere in an airport. Often it's not newsworthy, but it's always there. Fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, husbands and wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, old friends, all seeing each other get off a plane and being great. Man, we said send in a comment, not a full book, bruh. No, I'm just joking around. But I understand what a lot of people are saying. They want to see their loved one off, but we all have to get to our planes in a short time. The lines get lost. We got Chatting with the Stars coming up next.
Welcome back to DBL. Tia Mowry became a huge star with her twin sister Tamara thanks to their hit show Sister Sister. Now Tia is finding success with a Netflix series and her own cooking show on the Cooking Channel. DBL co-host Lindsay Granger sat down with Tia to talk family food traditions in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Tia, welcome to DBL. I see you're in the kitchen right now, and I love your Quick Fix YouTube channel.
Hi guys, what's up? Tia Mori here. So I am really excited to introduce my YouTube channel, Tia Mori's Quick Fix. Amazing!
I know that everyone knows that you have a twin, Tamara, right? Of course, your iconic sister from Sister Sister.
Yes.
So what do you see as the perfect project for you and Tamara to work on now as grown adults?
Oh my gosh, that's a really, really good question. I really enjoyed collaborating with her. We have with writing a book. So my sister and I, we actually have a book that's out right now called Twin Tuition. So I would love to do another book series with my sister. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Or like a Twitches reboot. Everybody loves Twitches.
Your Netflix show, Family Reunion, just got renewed for a second season. I want you to paint a picture of your real-life family reunions.
My family reunion is definitely involving food. Let's just say that, okay? Because we are all foodies. And I will say one thing that just I grew up on and one thing that I know that my family just truly enjoys, including my family, are pancakes. And that's what I have right in front of me. These are some incredible pancakes that I've made, and instead of using flour, I'll use my favorite oats. And I grew up making pancakes. That was like a part of my childhood with my sister. Now, I'm making pancakes for my family.
And where can we get more information?
Oh my gosh, you can totally get more information. As you can see, and as you know, I have lots of fun in the kitchen, and I'm encouraging other people to get out there, create their own recipes. Quaker has a promotion going on right now. If you submit your recipe, you can have a chance at winning $1,000, and to learn more about that, go to cookwithquaker.com.
Thank you, Tia.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Great interview, and what a beautiful kitchen. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
I don't need help. Well, we were going to go into this whole new sports lifestyle
We still
digital
are.
break. No, but Kelly said that
Oh,
she can't
boy.
never get a rest because people always come over here and ask her to help her with digital breaks. So this has been on your chest for some time now.
Wow.
So air out your grievances.
Blowing up my spot. I'm trying to get some work done, other work done, for the breaks that I'm not scheduled for. That's what I do. But then Brandon comes up and he's like, hey, Kelly, hey, you want to help me with this one? And I'm like, yes.
So Jeff Schroeder,
I always say yes. I always say yes,
So
and I
you can-
happily say yes. So get on with it. Let's do this break.
I forgot who sung that song, but all you gotta do is say yes. Anyways,
I don't think that's the tune.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Jeff says he hasn't heard that song either. I don't.
Okay, so the Olympics.
Yes.
Olympics 2024, they have unveiled a new logo. And of course, surprise, surprise, social media has gone crazy about it. So here's the former Paris 2024. Now this is the new one, Paris 2024. And a lot of people are saying that this little flame here looks like the Tinder logo, which is right here. No, but let's look here. If we're gonna break this down, since all of you people at home have time in your day to break down the new Olympic logo, I've got a little time during this digital
Here, I'll hold
break
it for you, and then you describe.
Okay, so watch my finger as I trace the Tinder logo. It goes up, down, up, with a little S curl at the top, and then it goes around. This one, the new Paris logo, there's a little flame here, it goes up, it curves, it goes down, and then there's another little flame at the bottom. So, does it really matter? Why are people so upset when it comes to trying to add on or make a tradition cooler? It's that the old logo is outdated. It's time for a new logo.
All I can think about is how bad my nails looked when I was displaying that. I haven't gotten them done in a while. But hey, I don't know why people sit at home and complain about stuff that's so not their problem. Like, why is this a big deal? Why does this matter? I don't know. I think it's great. I understand that they're comparing them. That's just what social media does. But I just don't have that much time in my day.
So here's what
I
the
don't even have time to do
organizers-
breaks with Brandon.
Here's what and that's sad for you, because doing breaks with me, I tell you what, we should have some sort of DBL contest to do a break with Brandon. But
You like to have a contest
So-
about everything. That's what I like about you. You're a competitor. You like to compete. I like it.
yeah, and I'm about to compete with these people about how stupid they sound that they are complaining about a logo. So this is the design. The new design marks a change in the direction from the colorful depiction of the Eiffel Tower, which is used in the logo as France's bid to host the 2024 games. Organizers said the three symbols were intended to be both simple and powerful. The gold medal symbolizes striving for excellence, what we do here at DBL, while the flame reflects the unique energy of the games. Just let that flow, people.
Feel the energy.
So, we're gonna update the logo and Kelly's nails.
Welcome back to DBL. A surprise announcement from Nicki Minaj. She just revealed that she's married to this man.
Is it me?
It's not you, Al. I think we all would have known. I hope we would have been invited. It's to this man, Kenneth Zoo Petty. She confirmed the news with this Instagram video showing Mrs. and Mr. mugs along with hats that read bride and groom. A lot of people are saying he trouble because he is a little bit of a rap sheet, but she's defended that rap sheet. She also used to date him when she was 16, so she's known him for a long time.
I think that has a lot to do. I think when you're a celebrity and you've just been kind of floating in the cosmos, you kind of want something to like an anchor back to your childhood, people that knew you before you were Jeff Schroeder, people that just called you Jeff.
Yeah.
And I think
Big Jeff.
yeah, and so I think that's it. I think that's what she's kind of going for.
Mike, the situation did the same thing. I mean, they had their
they
fun
knew
on
each
Jersey
other.
Shore, and it was his high
Really?
school sweetheart.
Really?
Yeah,
know
and he went
that.
back to her.
Kind
Yeah,
of
which
some
kind of leveled
security,
them
right?
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, congrats, Nicki Minaj.
That's right.
We love you. We hope you're happy. Here's what's coming up next on Daily Blast Live.
Lori Loughlin could be switching up her defense strategy big time. Could copping a plea keep her out of prison? Plus, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon's fitness secrets. Wait till you hear what they do to keep the weight off. And the final chapter of the Skywalker saga.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir, at my friends.
Brand new scenes from the Star Wars movie when DBL comes back.
Right now, President Jimmy Carter is in the hospital after falling at his home in Georgia. Now, this is the third time he's fallen in recent months. The first time he had to have hip replacement surgery, and then earlier this month he fell again and had to get 14 stitches. But let's be clear, our former president is a badass. After falling the second time, he traveled to Nashville the next day to attend a rally for Habitat for Humanity. President Carter, we're all hoping you get well very soon. And have you ever been so sick you just can't get out of bed to get your prescription filled? CVS wants to help with that. The pharmacy chain is partnering with UPS to deliver your medicine via drone. That's right, your medicine will be flown to your house. The best part, CVS says its drones will even fly to rural areas, and fast. Sign me up. Here's a feel-good story for your Tuesday. A mom was pulled over by a Milwaukee police officer because he noticed her two young daughters weren't in car seats. But get this, instead of giving her a fat ticket, Officer Kevin Zimmerman decided to go above and beyond for the single mother and buy and install 2 car seats for the girls. The mom says the girls couldn't stop thanking the officer, and it put a huge smile on their faces. Way to go, Officer Zimmerman. All right, guys, this has been Fast Blast for you. Make sure you tune in later for our entertainment edition of Fast Blast with Raquel Villanueva. Bye now.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. We are live. Let's get started. Well, Lori Loughlin is facing a new charge in the college admission scandal. Prosecutors just added bribery to the list. This makes it all the more likely that she'll take a plea deal after all. You'll remember she and her husband allegedly paid a $500,000 bribe to get her daughters into USC. But that could be considered less harmful than what Felicity Huffman did, which was rig her daughter's SAT score, and that potentially affected every student. So in the beginning, we all thought that Lori Loughlin had the more egregious charge, considering that it was $500,000. But if prosecutors consider it less harmful, Erica, then what? She'll go to jail for 5 days? I thought she was facing 40 years.
I don't know. I feel like at this point, it's all going to be political. I think that they're going to either make an example of her, especially in juxtaposition to Felicity Huffman, because now there's an example, or she's just going to walk and everyone's going to be like business as usual. Wow. But I think it's going to be a political move, and she's definitely going to get more than Felicity.
Let me ask you guys, do you think she can walk without, and everybody will be like, okay, or do you think everybody will be like, what?
It's the system. It's the if you have money to fight the system, and you find a little loophole, like it seems like she's finding already, even though she might serve less time than 14 days. I mean, I said
and
from
one
the beginning,
was already counted, so it was 13 days.
Right. So I said from the beginning she wouldn't serve any time. We'll see. But why isn't bribery the first charge that should have been added?
You would think.
6 months to a year later, now bribery's on there. The whole thing was a bribe.
I would want time if I were her, because street justice is not going to be kind. Like that will disseminate everything.
Well, look how everyone's already rooting for Felicity Huffman. Not to say that Felicity Huffman should deserve a redemption story, but perhaps she will if she really is 100% there. She is.
That's like the Bigfoot picture.
But if she really is remorseful, and from what we've seen, she's taken accountability, she's been remorseful, so I do think that Felicity Huffman will get a comeback story. I do not see that for Lori Loughlin. She's already, because even if she does, Al, own up to it, in the end, takes that plea deal, it'll look like it was more strategy than an honest opportunity like we saw with Felicity.
Yeah, I'm surprised like her PR person didn't just go I was a scared mom. I just wanted the best for my kids. Let me relate to you on that level.
Yes.
I just used my means to do this. And then get this over with.
Let me be part of the solution.
I think it's weird. I actually read this thing, this guy that was in jail for 10 years, and he said a lot of people that wonder why some people look better coming out of jail than they did going in. You look at Joe Giudice, he looks great. What his wife did too. He was like, you get great sleep, and you have no distractions, and you kind of just like, all right. So maybe she just needs to get this over with. Go in there and just
see what
zone
happens.
out.
We will see what happens.
Take your headspace and do some meditation.
Yeah, seems like a great place for that.
Yeah. Well, that jail.
I'm sure she can afford a spa.
Depending what jail, exactly. Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon are revealing their secrets to staying fit. Jen goes without solid food for at least 16 hours, while Reese drinks a green juice and a coffee in the morning and works out 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Too extreme,
their secret
or no?
is they're rich.
Yeah, you have.
I don't know about that, Erica.
You don't think they have personal trainers and nutritionists and cooks?
You can get a personal trainer at the Y.
You don't think they have nutritionists and cooks in the whole nine?
I think there's a thing called the internet where you can look up how to eat.
That's hard to cook for yourself every day, meal prep.
I didn't
That's
say
difficult.
meal prep. I didn't say, first of all, I'd make the argument as somebody that does meal prep, it's easier. You take a Sunday and you can cook basically the first 3 days of the week. It's much easier, actually, than doing it night by night. There's another win for Al.
Would it be much easier to have someone else do it?
That's not a win at all. Okay, first of all, we have all seen, maybe reposted, and loved the meme, I was not ugly, I was just poor. So the fact that that's such a popular meme to show you what can happen when you have means. And the other thing is, looking good is a priority for them. If they were accountants, then being sharp and being good with numbers would be a priority for them. There's a reason why they look the way that they look.
Are you saying
because
accountants don't care about how they look?
I'm saying that it's not the main priority in order to do their
with
job.
Erica on this one.
You
I'm
think
1,000%
most human
with
beings'
Erica
main priority is not to look attractive to the opposite sex or the same sex?
Well, listen, they're not going to have the public scrutiny that these two have, so that adds a whole nother element to it. However, most people cannot afford the time and the resources to make a green juice every morning. That's expensive.
Yes,
not to mention, guaranteed, they've got personal trainers, nutritionists, cooks, all of the above. So it's just.
I would make the argument vegetables are cheaper than getting an extra value meal at McDonald's every day.
Possibly.
Vegetables are cheap.
Okay, possibly.
There, I won again.
No,
in your
Al.
own mind, Al. Star Wars fans, this is for you. Ooh, Stephanie Jones, take it away.
So we're getting our first look at the final chapter in the Skywalker saga. So get ready to say tatty bye to Luke, Leia, Rey, and Kylo Ren. Check it out.
Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny.
Will Rey go to the dark side? Will the Resistance overthrow the First Order? We're going to have to wait until December the 20th to see Star Wars, The Rise of the Skywalker in theaters.
Steph, can you answer a question for me?
Well, you know what? I've never actually seen it, so I have no idea what's going on, but that actually looked
So you're like,
all right.
no, I can't. I just kind of wonder, like...
It looked all right, so I'd give that a go.
Steph, I know you. You would love it.
I think
I know you would. You love all things fantasy, and you would absolutely fall in love with the character Rey. I don't believe that she's going to the dark side. If she does go to the dark side, how would you feel as a Star Wars fan?
I mean, you got to play around a little bit with going to the dark side, because the dark side has some, like, good options. You don't have to be nice all day. Just be like, yeah, that's mine. Give me that. Like, I think there's something in all of us that like the dark side a little bit.
I mean, it sounds a bit more tempting, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm tired of being nice all the time.
And don't they get the... Okay, I don't know if I'm making this up, Sam, you'll have to tell me, because I know that you've been to Disneyland and seen the whole shebang.
I went to the Star Wars land, yes.
Do they have, like, red swords?
Lightsabers.
Yeah,
yes,
that one.
Now, when you go to Star Wars land, everybody, whether you're in Anaheim or whether you're in Orlando, yes, you can build your own lightsaber.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And yeah, they make it very in tune to your personality, and I thought that was really cool. We didn't do it because it was an hour-and-a-half long line to build your own lightsaber, and they're $150, but it's still really cool.
But red's evil and green is good.
Blue. And blue.
I feel like red goes a bit more with my outfit, so I'm going with red today.
All right.
Okay, looks good, Steph. And girl, get on it. You got to see all the. You've seen any of them?
None.
Okay, you have a weekend
I've got no
planned.
idea what's going on.
You have a weekend planned. I know that you'll become a fan. So yes, may the force be with you.
Let me tell you
Stephanie.
why I love Steph. I know she got to go, but she just goes talking about Star Wars. Give it a go. Like it's a billion-dollar franchise. She's like, good luck to it.
We'll see. Harry Potter is still king in my eyes.
Oh, yeah, he is. I actually agree with you there. I'm more of a Harry Potter head. All right, thank you, girl. Reality star Lauren Conrad welcomed a baby boy earlier this month. She named him Charlie Wolf. Cute, right? Well, Zooey Deschanel is calling her out because she named her son Charlie Wolf 2 years ago.
2 years ago is a weird last name.
No, 2 years ago she named her son Charlie Wolf.
That was a terrible
What do
joke.
you think about that? As a parent, would that bother you if all of a sudden somebody had a Leighton and a Lawson?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Maybe, but I'd also be flattered, too.
What if it was someone in your circle?
Would Jordan be mad? Jordan be mad.
If it was someone in my circle, I'd be mad.
Me
Yeah.
too.
What are you doing?
If it was in my circle, I'd be mad.
Yeah.
So they're friends?
No. Well, maybe. Who knows? I'd never heard that they were friends, but
I don't think so.
They're just two public
That's just
figures.
Weird. I don't know if I would ever even name my kid Charlie Wolf.
Right, but everybody's going to call him Charlie anyway, and there's a million
Until
Charlies.
he's a teenager, then he's going to be Teen Wolf.
Oh, there we go. I like
think
that.
about stuff like that.
I know.
Yeah.
You do.
You do.
I know. We're
I was
going
like,
through that right now.
Lawson rhymes with any.
We're going through it as we speak. We were talking to my parents about it all weekend, and let me tell you, there was some names thrown around that did not stick because everybody has an opinion.
Right.
Oh, don't tell anybody. That's like what
What's her name going to be?
I'm not telling you the gender yet.
Oh, I was trying to get you.
Why are you trying?
That was good. That was good. Al.
Yeah, there we
that was
go.
good.
Yep.
But advice to parents out there: do not share your names with anybody until the child is born.
I kind of learned that this weekend.
Don't do it because
Okay.
you're like, I'm gonna name Tom. Oh, my Uncle Tom. What a jerk.
Yeah.
Thanks. You know what I mean? Like, get away from me.
All right, coming up on DBL, Olympic figure skating star Adam Rippon swung by the DBL studio. We're catching up with America's sweetheart and finding out what he's been up to when we come back.
We're looking for a few.
Jeff only, so if you guys want.
Oh,
Okay.
Erica. We have a second?
All right.
Who?
We are talking
Nice.
about names. Jeff, I know you said that you and Jordan decided on Leighton like at the hospital after he was born.
Mm-hmm.
What was it between Lincoln?
Lincoln and Leighton, yeah. It was between
And
Lincoln
what
and
swung
Leighton.
it?
Honestly?
Yeah.
I don't know if I should share the story. Jordan picked it. I won't share the story.
Okay. Yeah, but it's. I mean,
Everyone's like, Joel's looking. Joel knows the story, so he's like, see.
Illinois' state motto, Land of Lincoln?
Yeah.
It is, right?
Oh.
So
Lincoln
I'm
Park
not
spelled
gonna-
differently.
Lincoln Park, the group, is with a K. Yeah. But yeah, it was between those two and Jordan. I got to pick the middle name, so that was all. Jordan really picked Lawson and Leighton's name.
Right.
So Lawson Keith is my dad's name, and then Lawson Sardi is my mom's maiden
love
name.
that, yeah.
And there's reasons why. I mean, I don't want to get into all
Yeah.
the other things too, but there's.
No,
go ahead.
Oh yeah, I like when the middle name. I think the middle name is meant to kind of spark conversation. I think if you're worried about like the family name kind of going away, I know Sam said that the shocker name, you know, because she has a daughter, would just go away after obviously when Sophie gets married. So I think I think that'd be kind of cool to give the mom's maiden name to somebody. That way that name kind of lives on as a middle name. So. Maybe that's the way to get around. Yeah. What's your full name? Do you have a super long name?
I don't like legally. I don't, but like family-wise, it'd be like Jure, Maurice, Daniel, Contreras, technically, because my dad's name would go second. But no, I just have a regular last name. But a lot of people in my family, we don't do that. A lot more Mexican families do that. Dominican
Have you guys
families
met
do
people that don't have middle names?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met a couple.
I think, well, with my family, it's like traditional to have that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I'm Ed, which is my dad's dad.
Yes.
You know. Welcome back to DBL. Earlier, Olympian Adam Rippon stopped by the Daily Blast Live studios and told us about his new book. Check it out.
Welcome back to DBL. We have such a special guest with us. I'm so honored. He's a figure skater, Olympic medalist, and winner of Dancing with the Stars. Thanks for being here. Now, Adam is a man of many talents. You're also an author, and you're currently on a book tour. You can buy Adam's new memoir, Beautiful on the Outside. The Washington Post calls it pure comedic gold. Did you hear Dre? Yes. So, Adam, I want to know, have you always been this funny? I fell in love with you because of your commentary. Have you always been hilarious?
Yeah. I think that like for a really long time, like when I was young, I would use humor to like, I think distract.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I realized I loved entertaining people. I loved making people laugh. It's where I feel the most like myself.
Yeah.
So when I was writing this book, I wanted to include so many things about myself, but I wanted it to all be with this flavor of humor.
Which I love. I love the title, Beautiful on the Outside. I love it so much.
I wanted it to look stupid.
Right, I love
like,
it.
Which, I mean, it does. So I'm like happy with it. Yeah.
So do you get a little deeper because you made headlines during the 2018 Winter Olympics? Was there anything that you had to set straight? Because there was so much news about you. Is there anything you set straight in the book that the media had wrong?
Nothing that I really set straight. I mean, here's the thing. You know, I got in that back and forth with the vice president.
I remember that.
Yeah. You know, I'm not the one who has to set things straight. You know, like. Yeah. Yeah. No, they're doing great over there. Yeah. Keep it up. Like. What did you ask me? Sorry.
I don't know, but that was a great answer.
Yeah.
Well, look, speaking of your back and forth with the vice president, Sean Spicer was also on Dancing with the Stars like you were, but you won. So how do you feel seeing him on there?
I know. I mean, he's dressed like the bushes he was hiding in. Like a mess.
That's all.
A mess. No.
Did you enjoy Dancing with the Stars?
I did.
You did?
I had a blast.
Everyone says that.
I mean, it's just so fun. I had such a good time. And like more than that, when I was there, I just made such great friends. Like my partner and her now husband are like two really good friends of mine. So it was
People
just.
say they become very close with their partner.
Oh, yeah.
How about Tanya Harding? Were you close with her? You guys are both
Well, so like in
skaters?
skating, she's sort of like the boogeyman. Where like
talk about that.
we don't like she's not invited to competitions or anything. I never had met her or anything. We met briefly, but she was nice to me. You know, she was always nice to me.
So she was on Dancing with the Stars.
With when I did it, yeah.
Well, was she mad that you won?
You know,
she allegedly gets angry about that.
I don't know. You know, here I grabbed the trophy and I went home. You know,
that's hilarious. That's crazy.
So you say that you're America's sweetheart. You dubbed yourself that, right?
Yeah.
How hard is that to keep up with? You know, so you're gonna have a bad day. Like Jeff knows all about airport bad days. You gotta have some of those.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, you know, when you dub yourself, it's like you just got to keep up with yourself, which is exhausting when you're me. But yeah, I know. Basically, if you want to be anything, just call yourself it.
Yeah, I do that too. I'm
what
like,
are you going to dub yourself?
Your boss.
Yes.
And then it's over.
I'm gonna be hostess with the mostest.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
God, I'm sorry, that was so bad. All right, moving on quickly so he forgets it. Karamo Brown is a good friend of the show. He is also on the current season and Dancing with your old partner,
yes,
Jenna. So is there any advice we can pass on to Karamo? He's co-hosted in that spot where you are right now.
Well, I have tried to give Karamo the same advice where I said that I think that I enjoyed doing what I was doing every single time I was out there, and I just had so much fun, and that's what I focused on. And I think that because I enjoyed that process every day, all of a sudden, that was what shone through in my performances. So I think if you're enjoying what you're doing, that's always going to come through.
What's next for you, man? Because I watch you on the Olympics. You're hilarious. You're hilarious right now. Great to meet you. But what's next for you? Do you want to be on TV? Do you want to do hosting, things like that?
Yes, you know, from your lips to God's ear. Yeah, are you listening? Please. So anything. I am. Yeah, shout out. So I sold a show to Quibi, which is this new streaming platform that's coming out next year.
Sure.
And it's called This Day in Useless Celebrity History. So we're taking, we have a show every day, and we'll take an event that's happened that day, and I will treat it like I am Diane Sawyer.
Oh, you're going to be, that's fantastic. That's perfect for
you. We'll do something really funny.
Just to not bring it down so I'm the buzzkill, but you were the first openly gay winter athlete. Did you think about how big of a deal? In my head, you kind of were just like, yeah, I'm who I am. I didn't really think about it. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't think about it. I mean, it was just, my focus was to be like the first Olympian from my family.
Yeah, right.
And you know, being gay is like such a small part of who I am.
Right.
That it was never the focus or important to me. It was important for me to share my story and share who I was.
Right.
But then that identity was so secondary to who I was as the athlete going to the Olympics.
Wow. You mentioned that you spoke up because people who don't have a voice, you know, you were being their voice, and that's the only reason, well, one of the reasons why you spoke directly to Pence so strongly.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel now moving forward with issues? Do you still want to be the person to kind of take the lead?
I think that anybody who feels that they are confident enough in themselves and in their words that they should say something. I think especially like we live in a time now where everyone has a platform and everyone has an audience. So you might as well use it to help lift up other people who feel like they don't have the same, or who feel like they don't have the same protections, or that when they go out into the world that they don't have a certain privilege. Then, like, if you feel like you have that privilege or you have that opportunity to say something and lift your neighbors up, you should absolutely take advantage of that.
Agreed. Well said. Well said. You're funny. You're cute, you're adorable, you're very smart. Okay. Wow. Adam Rapon, thank you so much for joining us.
I'll be back.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. We'll be right back. He was a great guy, by the way.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. Today, we're talking another makeup mistake that most of you are actually doing. It is the nastiest one of all, if you ask me. Yes, my friend, it's using an old, nasty, dirty butt beauty blender. These are terrible for you. Now, they're not always terrible, so let's break it down real quick. You can use beauty blenders, friends. Now, you can use them brand new. They're great that way. Get them a little wet, they help blend out all that full coverage makeup, and it's seamless.
Perfect, keep them moving. You can also use beauty blenders if you're washing them occasionally. These are great. They're a great help when you wash them because they're keeping everything sanitary. Now you can buy a liquid cleanser or you can buy the hard cleanser to actually keep these guys nice and clean, and it'll make a world of difference. But the last thing that I want to see you do, my friend, ooh, don't make Jory for the sleigh mad. The last thing that I want to see you do is put this nasty beauty blender right back in your beauty bag and just let it sit there for 2 more weeks until you put on that full coverage makeup again. Whew, you're looking at a makeup artist's nightmare at that point, my friends, because these guys are just a sponge at the end of the day. These are collecting and harvesting bacteria that can be super harmful to your skin. So you know that last time that you broke out, you know the last time that your skin felt kind of weird and it stung a little bit, you know that last time that your makeup just didn't turn out right and it had that murky little brown tint to it? It's not because your makeup's bad, it's not because you have bad skincare, you might check out the skincare videos before, and it's not because like you're just a bad person or anything, it's because you have this nasty, dirty wop beauty blender in your bag and you're not cleaning it or taking care of yourself. So with that being said, I have 2 things that might help you. Back to square one, clean your beauty blender. That is gonna be the first and only thing that you can really do to help yourself. And the second one is, you can just use disposable sponges instead, guys. Alcone wedges are a great alternative to beauty blenders and you can throw them out and keep them moving and they're super cheap. Now,
welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. Now, 70% of Americans use a credit card, so it's no surprise that credit card fraud is a huge problem. In fact, you could fall prey and not even know it. So here's what to watch for. First, be aware of skimmers. They are little devices that sit on top of ordinary credit card slots and are designed to steal your information and PIN number. Next, you gotta be careful at popular places like fast food restaurants. All those customers makes them easy targets for hacking, so make sure to keep your card in view at all times. Lastly, don't get fooled by free Wi-Fi. So this is surprising to me. Free Wi-Fi allows outsiders to hack your devices. They can gain access to your passwords, photos, even your credit card info. Did not know that last one. I'm all about, ooh, free Wi-Fi. I sign right in at the coffee shop. I gotta be aware of that.
Yeah, you also, I'm very surprised by how many people don't have alerts for their bank accounts, like how much money's coming out. And a lot of people will say it's because they don't have that much money in there. But you know when is the most popular time for thieves to try to hack you that way is right before you're gonna pay your rent. So you have to at least have alerts, right?
Like on the second Friday of every other Friday, something like that. Where
well, to say this is the number that you should call me or stop the transaction.
Wow.
Because the one time that you might have that amount in there is the time that they know you have that amount in there.
Yeah, that's new to me as well.
Yeah.
And when I go to the gas station, I have to be honest, I don't really look to see if
those skimmers, yeah, they put them right on top of the gas station. When you slide your card, they get your. So if you can, get your exercise in and go inside. That's what I do. Even when it's cold.
You
and
do
you're like,
do that?
I do, even though when I don't feel like it. It's just like it's something. It's been around for a long time. So protect yourself.
Good to know. Good advice. We'll be right back.
And to protect yourself from fraud, call LifeLock at 1-800-495-8730.
Hi DBL Nation, it's Raquel here, and I want to talk to you about Gemini Man. Now I know it's been out in theaters for a couple weeks now, but I saw it in 4DX, which is a little bit different. If you haven't heard of this technology, it kind of makes a movie experience feel like you're on a roller coaster ride or some sort of theme park. And this is my second time going to a 4DX movie, and I have to say I enjoyed Gemini Man a lot more as a 4DX experience. Now the first one I saw was Hobbs and Shaw, Fast and Furious movie, so I was like being kicked around and like punched. But this one I felt added to the experience. Now I know on Rotten Tomatoes, critics have panned it, audience have given it a pretty high score, and I have to lean more towards the audience. Usually I agree with the critics, but I say seeing this movie in 4DX was actually enjoyable and fun, and I didn't feel like it was too much. There was water action, you get moved around a lot. There is also like some smell-o-vision, which I'd never known was a thing till now. Pretty fun. The plot, I can see where people kind of have issues with it, and the technology to make Will Smith look like a younger Will Smith, because that's the whole plot of the movie. He's fighting against a younger version of himself. I
I'm a little up in the air about it, but just the fact that we're going there, sometimes I feel like you need to make the move, even though it doesn't work completely, to make sure like movies in the future can work that way. And with 4DX, pretty happy about that. But DBL Nation, I want to know what you think. Have you heard of a 4DX movie? Do you have questions about it? Let me know, and I'll try to answer them for you, and see you next time.
Welcome back to DBL. Here's a spooky Halloween story for you. 18-month-old baby Lincoln was sleeping peacefully in his crib, but look what the baby monitor caught on camera. Yeah, you see that right there? It looks like a ghost baby in the crib with him.
Whoa.
Oh, I see ghost baby. Luckily in the morning, everything was not what it seemed when it was discovered that it was just a sticker on the mattress.
Wait, they waited till the morning to check that out? I would go get my kid if I thought a ghost was in the crib.
Totally looked like a ghost baby. That would have freaked me out.
Also, how about wash your sheet so that that's gone?
I know. I changed Sophie's crib sheet out
Take it out
every
of the
week.
plastic. Yeah, put our baby on this.
It's
Do
on
better.
the mattress.
I know, but you would see the sticker every time you change out the crib sheet.
Yeah, take the sticker out.
We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same time.
Yeah, y'all.
Hi guys! What's happening here? Kelly Shepard with the DBL Digital team. I have a trending story for you now that I wanted to put in the show, but we just didn't have room for it today, so here I am presenting it to you. So 4th grader, his name is Jake. John is actually gonna bring the picture up for you now. His parents dared him to wear a hot dog costume to school for picture day, and there you see it. He did it. He's a 9-year-old, he's in 4th grade. I love that his parents dared him to do this and that he accepted it. This is the cutest picture. The costume's way too big for him and he looks adorable. Also, I think this will be my future son. This is something I would want my kid to do and I would probably dare him to do it. And hopefully he would do it because it's funny and it's silly. And hey, you get so many school pictures every single year and you get older and yay, it's cute, but like, why not have some fun with it? My school probably wouldn't have let me do this. I went to a private school, so I wonder if they would have even let me do that. Anyway, DBL Nation, let us know what you think of this. Do you think it's funny? Do you think it's silly? Do you think it's a little bit of both? Do you think it's not cool at all? Let me know. All right, guys, we've got a great show coming up for you. See you soon.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
President Trump compares impeachment to a lynching, the controversy he's now facing for that comment. Plus, will Lori Loughlin cop a plea in her college admissions case? Why she could get a big break and serve less time than Felicity Huffman. Nicki Minaj's surprise wedding, who she married, and what we know about his sex offender past. And Michael Douglas's son breaks his silence on fame and addiction.
How close were you to dying?
Probably pretty close.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, October 22nd. I'm here with Tori, Jeff, Al. I am Sam. Let's get right to it, shall we? Well, the president called the impeachment inquiry against him a, quote, lynching. Trump tweeted, all Republicans must remember what they are witnessing here, a lynching. Well, fellow Republican Senator Lindsey Graham agrees with the president's assessment. Take a look.
I think that's pretty well accurate. This is a sham. This is a joke. I'm going to let the whole world know that if we were doing this to a Democratic president, he would be all over me right now. So, yeah, this is a lynching in every sense. This is un-American.
It's a powerful word. And on the other hand, many Democrats and even some Republicans are outraged by the comparison, like Senator Susan Collins, who tweeted, lynching brings back images of a terrible time in our nation's history, and the president never should have made that comparison. So do you believe the president even knows what he's saying? Is this intentional? Is he racist? What do you make of him? Because I can't imagine in 2019 anybody using that word as a comparison.
Yeah, first of all, I think for you to use that word and mean it, have it be inflammatory, is you have to care. I don't think he cares enough. I think when he gets back in the corner, he just yells and says stuff. But he's not anti using race baiting things to get things distracted away from what he's talking about. So I don't know. We're also talking about a man that retweeted a parody account of his behind yesterday. So let's think about that before and put things into context into who we're talking about.
I agree. I don't think he's a genius by any means, but I do think he's a really good spinner. And right now it's impeachment, impeachment, impeachment. And what he wants is a distraction. There is no way you can tell me that this man doesn't know that by putting the word lynching, the news cycle will grab on and take a hold. And we've not mentioned Turkey once this whole day, right? We haven't mentioned Syria. We're talking about what he wants us to be talking about as a distraction. Now, take a look at what Michael Steele wrote. He's a Republican. This is a tweet he put up. Do we have the tweet? He says, Trump, this is not happening to you, and it's pathetic that you act like you're such a victim. But it did happen to 147 black people in your state, Lindsey, as in Lindsey Graham. A lynching in every sense. You should know better. Yeah, I find this absurd, but I'm not going to play into the idea of I'm getting distracted from it.
See, I don't agree with you, because you look back at Trump's history from the demonizing the Central Park Five to things that he did in his very own casinos to segregate blacks and whites back in the 80s, according to his employees, to this, what he wrote in, well, this is according to John O'Donnell in this book. Do we have that quote? If not, I can just read it.
Yeah, the yarmulkes one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Black guys counting my money. I hate it. The only kind of people I want counting my money are short guys that wear yarmulkes every day. I think that guy is lazy, and it's probably not his fault, because laziness is a trait in black people. It really is. I believe that. It's not anything they can control. This was written in a book per someone else, but then Trump in 1997 in Playboy magazine confirmed that he did say those things. So what would his spin game been back then, Tori? So I don't think, why would he have distracted back then when this is inherently his personality? I think you're giving him a pass.
Well, in 1973, Fred Trump, his father, they got fined for apartments, even before that, for not letting blacks in. I do think there is a very racial connotation from the birtherism to the Central Park Five. And I think he has a Jewish issue with good people on both sides. But my thing is, what he does is he knows the word lynch will start a fire away from his fire. So his fire will burn a little bit less, and now we're all going to talk about this. So I don't want to give him a pass. I challenge this. I think he wanted a racial war and a racial tension. I just think he's trolling us, and I don't want to give in every time. Is this disgusting? Yes. Should Lindsey Graham be ashamed of himself coming from South Carolina and not knowing that lynching would be a trigger word? Yes. But do I think I'm going to get upset after every single piece of Trump? No, because I think he's playing me then.
Yeah, and I think, listen, I'm reading our comments as we speak, and I know you all are tired of talking about Trump. I think today we got to take Trump out of it, and just the lesson here is you don't use a word that completely, I mean, lynching, really?
Yeah. But I
lynching.
think most of our viewers know that.
Okay, so let's give our viewers the credit and let's just call it what it is. It's wrong. Whoever were to say it, whether it be Trump, whether it be your next door neighbor, we know it's wrong. Michael Douglas and his son Cameron are opening up about Cameron's struggles with drug addiction. The two spoke with Diane Sawyer about their family life, and Michael revealed how hard it is as a parent not to blame yourself.
I'm just, laughing because you rack your brain. You take it personally. In the beginning, you start blaming yourself. Then you look at your genetic makeup. My career was first.
That's your choice, honey. That has nothing to do with
My
me.
career came before my family.
So what's on your mind, Kimasabi?
My marriage was not great, and so you do hide yourself in your work.
Now, Cameron spent 7 years behind bars, including 2 years in solitary confinement. He's now 40 years old. How do you not feel responsible as a parent for your child's struggle? And listen, he admitted, very transparent, that he wasn't around for his kid. And he and his wife also had a bad marriage. So that's going to affect your child. So does that contribute to drug abuse? Doesn't help, but is it what really contributes? You'll never know.
You'll never know, but I have to say it does.
Yeah.
Factor in a little bit. If you're not feeling that love from someone, it doesn't even have to be your parents. It has maybe a grandparent, maybe someone else. But I think if you're not feeling that love, and your father's obviously putting something before you and your own intentions and what you think is important, I think that hurts.
It affects your
my
self-esteem.
parents always put me first, and they always came to my sporting events. And sometimes I get caught up with work, and I feel bad that I don't see my son sometimes. Like the little one is already asleep or already taking a nap. So I want to make that change. I'm conscious of that change. But this is kind of weird because remember in Traffic? Remember the movie Traffic? This is kind of like art imitating life. He had a daughter that was struck on drugs.
And
that's right.
Listen, that could have been
That's
timely
crazy.
too, because his son, this isn't a new incident. So that could have been a very timely character association for him.
And let's
back
not
then.
forget about the role that drugs play. Drugs are there to
Genetics
kind
as
of,
well.
obviously it's your genetic component, but also drugs numb you. And this kid, if he's living in a house where he feels like his father's absent physically and emotionally, his parents, his mom, if they're having a bad relationship, hate each other. So he doesn't see his home as a sanctuary. Where's your sanctuary? You're going to make it internal. You're going to take in alcohol to make you feel better, drugs.
Well, you blame
and things like
yourself.
that. Right.
Kids blame themselves. When mom and dad get in a divorce, they blame themselves. When dad's at work every day, they blame themselves. And that's what's really sad. So I don't know. Chime in, DBL Nation. Would love to hear from you as well. A surprise announcement from Nicki Minaj. She just revealed that she's married to this man, Ken Petty. She confirmed the news with this Instagram video showing Mrs. and Mr. Muggs along with hats that read bride and groom. But let me tell you, Tori, a lot of people are saying he's trouble, even though they knew each other back when he was 16, she was 16. Right. He does have 2 convictions, one being manslaughter and the other one being attempted rape when he was 16 on another 16-year-old girl using a sharp object. She claims that she could speak and defend his side, that there's 2 sides to every story. But if that was your friend, what would you think?
I'm going to be honest, that'd be terrifying. I mean, just not... Manslaughter is a whole other game for me. Like, you just... Look, I don't know the details. I would want to know the details. I don't want to get into anyone's bedroom, as Erica Cobb has always taught me, our other co-host. But that doesn't look good, attempted rape and manslaughter, and I just can't, you can't cover that up. Now, if it was like non-violent drug offenses, I have a much better chance of just like talking that through. But to me, those are 2 big
I would make the argument that probably, and I'm not gonna, I don't know her entire background, but maybe where Nicki Minaj is from, and let's take this away from celebrity, a lot of people, depending on what neighborhood you're from, it's not that crazy to have a friend that's got a body on them or has been to jail 3 or 4 times because that might be your father, your brother, your uncle, your mom did the, so like depending on where you're from.
But Nicki has a lot to lose, in meaning she comes from so much money and wealth. You've got to be extra careful of who you establish yourself with.
Maybe,
really.
But to your point, and I hear you, I'm with you. To Al's point, if she knew him back when they were 16, she may feel like she can trust him inherently as opposed to some rando that she meets off the street that she has no idea who they are.
I mean, how many people go after their high school sweethearts once they've really made it big?
Well, Mike, the situation, went back to his high school sweetheart after all of his crazy Jersey Shore days. And after that, once you reach a certain level, who can you trust?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
everybody that comes towards you wants something from you.
Right, and you go back to someone who loved you for who you are.
Yes.
So take the criminal things. I totally hear what you're saying, but take that out, and that's just that man loved her before
in her
own way.
Yep.
in her own way.
See that?
Well, congrats to Nicki Minaj. A driver in Georgia is lucky to be alive right now. He rear-ended a logging truck and his car was impaled. Logs from the truck came through the windshield, clear into the back seat.
Wow.
The driver walked away with only minor injuries because he was leaning down to pick something up that he dropped.
So Sam, they said the EMTs, see that pocket right there?
Yes.
That it was almost, his head was inches, okay, centimeters from that. He bent down. Unfortunately, that's why the crash happened. So when he bent down, he was distracted. But because of that, it created a perfect pocket, and it just protected him from absolutely everything. It's insane. Insane.
I can't imagine.
I know.
Well, my first fender bender when I was 16 years old, I hit this guy in the back. I made a grilled cheese sandwich. I was on my way to school, and I had it in the passenger seat, and I hit the brakes, and the grilled cheese sandwich slid on the floor, and I went to pick it up and straight rear-ended this guy. Like, I'd had my license like a month.
Did you get in trouble?
No, my parents were real cool about it. I was like more freaking out than they were.
Did you tell the grilled cheese part of it?
Well, yeah.
You did?
Because that was whole yeah, because it was just like, otherwise, why'd you ram this guy back?
Trying to multitask,
Yeah,
right?
Like, yeah, and I put some sourdough and toasted it. So
Did
it
you
was a
eat
good
this? I want to know if you ate the grilled cheese.
Yeah, probably. Well,
Any
cops are on the way.
near-death experience for you, or
Near death? No.
No.
No. I've done
Dude,
some
you were on a
crazy
bull.
things.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have died.
All right.
You could.
That's the whole point of bull
Can.
riding, is almost dying.
Well, you could die driving here. You know what I mean?
That's true. That guy almost did.
Yeah.
Dude, I moved from behind logging trucks just.
A lot of
that
people
time.
do. A lot
When I see like loose debris on
I'm
the trucks
gone.
and
I'm
stuff,
in a
not
different
there,
lane.
too.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
like
TBL's Live coming up. Can Lori Loughlin save herself from a lengthy prison sentence if she's convicted? We'll tell you why. She could take a plea deal. Plus, you know her from the hit 90s show Sister, Sister. But now Tia Mowry is sharing her love of cooking with the world. Find out what she's been up to. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Some airports are allowing you to go past security without a ticket. Is this a good idea or a serious security threat? Your comments next.
Hi everyone, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital Team. I'm with Sam and Al. Anytime I'm behind a log truck, I make sure I get around it because that's not safe. Let's go talk to the host about near-death experiences. I actually have one and I want them to hear it. Hey guys. I have a
Wow, they're
near-death
just trying to
experience.
dismantle and
I do.
What happened?
So I was 5 and we were at a dude ranch. We were visiting Colorado.
I love dude ranches.
I
Sorry,
hate
go
them
ahead.
now.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not a big fan of horses, and it's because of this was one traumatizing event. So we were on the trail, and it's like you're on mountains, you know, you're hiking up the mountain on the horse, and the horse all of a sudden freaked out and was like on the side of the cliff going like this. And I'll never forget, I was only like 5. I was pretty young, but I'll never forget like looking down and like thinking that I was gonna die at 5 years old.
Yeah.
So then I tried to get on a horse again a couple years later.
Did you think that the horse was going to buck you off the cliff?
No, I
or
thought
just
the horse was gonna fall because
And
we
you
were
were gonna
going
get
like
trapped?
this,
Oh, my
and I thought
goodness.
I was gonna fall.
Oh
with
my
the horse.
gosh.
So I got on a horse a couple years later at camp, and I got bucked off. So I just don't think horses are for me, you guys, and it makes me really sad because
Do you think one day that you'll ever retry just to see maybe if you can, like, what do they call that type of therapy?
Get back
where
on
you,
exposure therapy.
Exposure
yes,
therapy.
exposure
Jump back,
therapy.
get back on the horse,
It's actually
if you
really
will.
funny we're talking
Literally,
about
yeah.
this because I talked with Chris, my boyfriend, last night about horses, and I said I'd love to be able to get back on a horse one day. So yes, I hope
Love
so.
horses.
Yeah.
Because they say if horses don't like you, that like you're not a good person, and it makes me really
It
sad.
could be that when
Haven't you heard that?
But when
No.
you're
Horses
older,
don't like you.
I think when you're
I've
older,
heard that. Yeah,
I think it
that.
sensed your fear.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the second horse. Like, of course, I was scared to get back on a horse.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
I went to a dude ranch and had a horse named Pancho that I rode the whole time, and I think about him often.
Why'd you say it in that voice?
horses scare me anyway. They're just big and just.
I competitively
love
jumped.
horses.
I know.
You did?
A lot of people that do that still get hurt.
I was a horse jumper, and now I'm like, what was I thinking? Now it's
How old were you?
From 9 to 14.
Wow, Tori,
At
this
summer
is something
camp.
we did not know about you.
I was an excellent horseback rider, but why would I do that? It's
I don't know, but we
terrifying.
need pictures.
Get
DBL
really
Nation,
hurt
let us know,
doing
do
that.
you like horses and do horses like you?
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. Well, if you live in one of 3 cities in the U.S., your local airport could be your actual destination. New programs in Pittsburgh, Tampa, and Detroit can get you through TSA to enjoy food courts and shops, plus more time with loved ones, all without a boarding pass. This access to terminals still requires proper identification, but some travelers fear new security threats and traffic. So DBL Nation, are you on board with this story?
Who goes to the airport to look at art?
At art?
That's what they're saying. I read the article. They want to go food shopping and
they have
art.
Cool stores at a lot of terminals.
Oh,
yes.
I think the airport makes me so anxious. I would never
The
go.
food court, it's like $95 for a salad and a
Yeah,
drink.
I would never do it. All right,
Yeah,
Jonathan.
no way.
Jonathan from Facebook says, I hope they beef up security. More people make airports more of a target. Yeah, I do think, though, that like when I think back to real security, 9/11, every single one of them was a ticketed passenger. So to me, I understand for elderly people or for soldiers or for kids, I get this. But I just would not want more people in line. I know that sounds lazy, but.
Lazy? I don't
That's a
think
great point.
that's a
I don't
great
want to be
point.
waiting in line anymore.
Yeah, good. Ray from Facebook says, as far as I know, the hijackers from 9/11 actually had boarding passes. All right, Tori just answered that question. I'm with Tori on this one. No, there's enough people already. It's hard enough to get through security. To add some more people with signs and say, "Good luck, Sarah," from your Uncle Tom. Get out of here. Go call, FaceTime.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
First of all, we're in Cleveland right now. My Uncle Tom's watching. Sandra from Twitter says, folks always want to access somewhere they can't go.
Yeah.
Interesting. I would like to see the actual number of missed flights increase because of these additional distractions. Sandra, you read my mind, my dear. Honestly, I think that a lot of people, when you go to the airport, depending on if there's any traffic leading out there, I mean, we're in Denver right now. It's about an hour to the airport, almost with no traffic. So you're already dealing with maybe a 15-minute margin of error. 8 to 12 people in line that don't really need to be there can be the difference between you making a flight and missing a flight, or a tight connection, which is even more. So I just say, like, if you want to shop, go to Target.
I like that last point.
Kathy from Facebook says, I have a hard enough time making my flights already. Go to the mall if you want a food court and part with your loved ones at the curb and keep it moving. I guess I'm the only one that loves this.
Oh, Sam, you're such a lover.
I'm sorry, some of my fondest memories are when I would arrive in Detroit, Michigan, and apparently this would be in Detroit, and my grandparents would be waiting for me at the gate. That was literally probably my fondest memories.
Claim?
Could it be at the baggage claim? Would it be the
I guess that would be okay, but just to walk out of that gate and see them, and I would love to do that to my grandkids one day. I dropped my parents off just about an hour ago at the train station, and I would have driven them to the airport, walked them to their gate, and hung out with them. I would have done that. It's more time with them.
You have one kid now. Wait till you have 2 kids going through TSA for fun.
No, I know. It's not for fun. It's one of the. It's not for fun. It's a rare occurrence when you want to spend more time with your loved ones. I want every bit of ounce of time with my parents. So to me, it's not about if I'm at an airport or on my couch. I'm with my parents.
Yeah, what about the times that you can't wait for somebody to leave? We've all had a guest where you're like,
That's different.
Bye.
That's different.
Like, walk me to my gate. You're like,
no, I'll get you an Uber.
Yeah.
I got to get to work. So to each its own. And case-by-case basis. Coming up on DBL, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon are letting us in on their fitness secrets, why their routine might not be for everyone. And Tia Mowry was one half of the hit show Sister Sisters, so does she have any plans to team up with her sister again? Our Lindsay Granger finds out next in Chatting with the Stars.
I thought she was talking to you and you were talking Halloween, but she was talking to someone in our ear, so I was reading this. Do you understand? Gotcha. Cool. So I'm reading my favorite section of the New York Times. We need a graphic. Kelly, Leo, Travis, John. Yeah. For I'll be your teacher and you be my clients when I teach you about science. I couldn't think of anything that rhymed with science. Anyway, okay, we're moving on. So just so you know, there is a new quantum computer, and it has demonstrated what they call quantum supremacy. The device, in 3 minutes, had performed a highly technical and specialized computation that would have taken a regular computer 10,000 years to work out.
What's that?
You want me to say it again? Really?
Yeah.
They came up with a quantum computer that can do something in 3 minutes that would take a normal computer 10,000 years to compute. Whoa. Next story. Your dogs do love your humans as you think they do. Cats, not so much. And finally, you are only the age you think you are in your body. That's the client's science.
Welcome back to DBL. Tia Mowry became a huge star with her twin sister Tamara thanks to their hit show Sister Sister. Now Tia is finding success with the Netflix series and her own cooking show on the Cooking Channel. DBL co-host Lindsey Granger sat down with Tia to talk family food traditions in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Tia, welcome to DBL. I see you're in the kitchen right now, and I love your Quick Fix YouTube channel.
Hi guys, what's up? Tia Mowry here. So I am really excited to introduce my YouTube channel, Tia Mowry's Quick Fix. Amazing!
I know that everyone knows that you have a twin, Tamara, right? Of course, your iconic sister from Sister Sister.
Yes.
So what do you see as a perfect project for you and Tamara to work on now as grown adults?
Oh my gosh, that's a really, really good question. I really enjoyed collaborating with her. We have with writing a book. So my sister and I, we actually have a book that's out right now called Twin Tuition. So I would love to do another book series with my sister. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
That's
or
awesome.
like a Twitches reboot. Everybody loves Twitches.
Your Netflix show, Family Reunion, just got renewed for a second season. I want you to paint a picture of your real-life family reunions.
My family reunion is definitely involving food. Let's just say that, okay? Because we are all foodies. And I will say one thing that just I grew up on and one thing that I know that my family just truly enjoys, including my family, are pancakes. And that's what I have right in front of me. These are some incredible pancakes that I've made, and instead of using flour, I'll use my favorite oats. And I grew up making pancakes. That was like a part of my childhood with my sister. Now, I'm making pancakes for my family.
And where can we get more information?
Oh my gosh, you can totally get more information, as you can see, and as you know, I have lots of fun in the kitchen, and I'm encouraging other people to get out there, create their own recipes. Quaker has a promotion going on right now. If you submit your recipe, you can have a chance at winning $1,000, and to learn more about that, go to cookwithquaker.com.
Thank you, Tia.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Great interview, and what a beautiful kitchen. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Science. Okay, so I wanted to show you this picture. So, do you see this? These are something called trilobites, okay? And they lined up in a perfect single file line. But guess how long ago that was? Travis? 480 million years ago. So even before the world was like a complex world, they were lining up to get things. That's interesting, right? Are you making fun of me?
No, let's talk about the bears.
You weren't, you were making fun of me.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Oh, he did. He made fun of me?
No, I didn't.
No, he didn't.
Quit trying to pick
It's totally unrelated to what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, also, lemurs have an extra thumb. Now I feel like I am being made fun of.
No, you're not. No.
Hooray.
And also,
Can I get a lip
how do you say this cheese?
Thank you.
Camembert cheese.
You asked me how to pronounce that?
Yeah, but you know cheese.
It
comes from a certain
It's a
fungus
soft cheese.
that a priest found while sidling up with a handmaiden, a dairy handmaiden. Oh no! Oh no! So that's it with science. Let's see, Tori. I do think it's interesting. Chris Hickman just wrote. Fantastic. Does nobody else want to be on the camera? So Stephen George doesn't think it's interesting.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I don't think he meant to be funny, but it was even funnier as like a backhanded thing. I'm so sorry. Don't worry, guys. We'll do the puzzle next, and I know y'all love the puzzle more than science does. Ouch. Do you want to take this knife out of my back? Also, don't I look full thing? Modern art museum curator? Put the op next to the light. Wait, I mean, Mrs. I feel like a lot of people make fun of me and I don't get it. Okay, I don't care for it. I don't care for it. I don't care for it. One bit. One bit.
Welcome back to DBL. Tori, comments?
Margot says this is about the airports. Nah, the gates are so congested to begin with. Agree with you, Jeff. They can wait at baggage claim or near the exit entrance of the airport. Yeah, I just think it's going to take up too much space. Also, does anyone go to eat there? Am I wrong? Is that a thing people do?
I don't think anyone's going there to eat. I think it's more about walking your loved ones right up to the gate, especially kids, elderly.
If you have kids, can you do that now with like a certain pass?
Yeah, you can. You can do that with like my kids fly is what's
you
called
to apply for it.
Unaccompanied minors. Yes, you can apply for it like the day before. Usually, I think it's maybe even 7 days out because they have to alert the flight attendant as to how many unaccompanied minors are on a flight. I think it's. Your kid has to be older than 12, I believe. And then they can fly by themselves. Obviously, you want to keep it short distances, and there can't be a connection in between. It has to be a direct flight. But my kids do this, and they're fine. So
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense for young kids.
And there's literally somebody that takes their hand, walks them onto the plane, makes sure they eat, then walks them off and puts them in, and then you have to sign for them.
Otherwise, how scary for a kid.
Yes.
So, all right. Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
Lori Loughlin could be switching up her defense strategy big time. Could copping a plea keep her out of prison? Plus, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon's fitness secrets. Wait till you hear what they do to keep the weight off. And the final chapter of the Skywalker saga.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir. At my friends.
Brand new scenes from the Star Wars movie when DBL comes back.
Right now, President Jimmy Carter is in the hospital after falling at his home in Georgia. Now, this is the third time he's fallen in recent months. The first time he had to have hip replacement surgery, and then earlier this month he fell again and had to get 14 stitches. But let's be clear, our former president is a badass. After falling the second time, he traveled to Nashville the next day to attend a rally for Habitat for Humanity. President Carter, we're all hoping you get well very soon. And have you ever been so sick you just can't get out of bed to get your prescription filled? CVS wants to help with that. The pharmacy chain is partnering with UPS to deliver your medicine via drone. That's right, your medicine will be flown to your house. The best part, CVS says its drones will even fly to rural areas, and fast. Sign me up. Here's a feel-good story for your Tuesday. A mom was pulled over by a Milwaukee police officer because he noticed her 2 young daughters weren't in car seats. But get this, instead of giving her a fat ticket, Officer Kevin Zimmerman decided to go above and beyond for the single mother and buy and install 2 car seats for the girls. The mom says the girls couldn't stop thanking the officer, and it put a huge smile on their faces. Way to go, Officer Zimmerman. All right, guys, this has been Fast Blast for you. Make sure you tune in later for our entertainment edition of Fast Blast with Raquel Villanueva. Bye now.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. We are live. Let's get started. Well, Lori Loughlin is facing a new charge. Yes, in the college admission scandal, prosecutors just added bribery to the list. This makes it all the more likely that she'll take a plea deal after all. You'll remember she and her husband allegedly paid a $500,000 bribe to get her daughters into USC, but that could be considered less harmful than what Felicity Huffman did, which was rig her daughter's SAT score, and that potentially affected every student. Now I'm confused, Tori.
Okay.
I thought from day one that Felicity Huffman had the less egregious charge than Lori Loughlin. So what's going on?
Okay, it's really confusing. It's very bizarre, too.
I think Sam speaks for a lot of us.
I think a lot of people are confused. I actually had to sit down in a quiet room to look over this. What's interesting is they asked her to cop a plea a long time ago, and she said no. And the second she said no, they added something, and that was wire fraud and mail fraud. That gets you up to 40 years in prison. Those were what you call the stick, right? They were like, fine, you don't take a plea deal, you're going up to this. Now they added bribery, and if she cops a plea deal, they'll take away certain ones, and they'll lower it.
What could she get, you think? So we saw Felicity Huffman, who I thought had the less egregious charge, she's serving 13 days as we speak. She got sentenced to 14. One of those days counted when she checked herself in, whatever. How many, if Lori Loughlin comes to her senses, listens to her publicist, her lawyer, and says, yes, I'll take this plea deal, what would she face?
The best consensus on the internet and the Twitter and all, and actually the lawyers and the DA are speaking out like 4 weeks could possibly be the lowest that she could get. But again, I could see it up to a year. There was really.
I don't think she's gonna.
I don't either.
I would take a year over a 40-year risk.
Me too.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't think. I think.
Why risk that? You have children. You have a family. Wouldn't you rather say, okay, I can deal with a year. God forbid I get 40.
Yeah, read the writing on the wall.
Do you think it would sway?
Days.
I mean, obviously we're not making the decisions, but do you think it'll sway because it came out that her daughter is not only no longer enrolled in USC, she never showed up the first week of classes.
They'll tell the jury that's totally irrelevant and to ignore all of that.
So yeah, I was going to ask, does that, like literally at this point we're talking about nothing. Her daughter didn't go to the school.
Yeah, it's irrelevant to the bribe in which she did, the crime in which she committed. So they're going to tell them, please don't worry about that and try to sequester them so they don't really know any of that.
How is bribery just getting added on now?
Did they save it?
Yeah, they saved it. So what it is each little thing. So first they started with something little. Then it was, all right, you don't want to cop a plea? I'm giving you mail fraud and wire fraud. Then she still didn't cop a plea. Now it's a bribery, and it's their last pièce de résistance.
What?
What does that mean?
The piece of resistance, the cherry on top.
She just put an accent on top, make it fancy. Thank you, Tori.
Hey.
Jennifer. Cherry, she looks like one.
What?
You look like our cherry on top of our
Jeff
panel.
said, why is Tori wearing a Snuggie?
You look great.
First of all, I said that not even to you.
I heard, she told me. I love
people talk in this room.
Well, I know, Tori, well, she told her. I wasn't making it like a little joke.
It was funny. I liked it.
Well, let me tell the joke.
All right, sorry.
All right, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon are revealing their secrets to staying fit. Jen goes without solid food for at least 16 hours, while Reese drinks a green juice and coffee in the morning and works out 6 days a week. Doable?
Not for me.
I think so.
Well, 16 hours, I believe they just stretch out their nighttime. So if you're sleeping for 8 hours, I guess
can't go that long without it.
You just stop eating at 8 p.m. and then you start eating like an hour after
You're skipping breakfast, basically.
Yeah,
but you're having it seems like a shake for breakfast, which I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, I'm really looking into this. Like, in all honesty, I've been watching like YouTube things on it and listening to podcasts, and like, you really have to watch this, like depending on your age range. So I'm over 40, so I looked at ones over 40, and they say if you do a couple days a week, but it's 20 hours not eating, 4 hours eating, just like 3 days a week, the effects are good, as opposed to like 16. There's all different ones.
But
16,
could you be
8.
happy with 20 hours not eating? I know I couldn't.
It's got to work in your schedule. I'm going to try it because I
lost a lot of weight that way.
I think you have the discipline to do it.
Yeah.
I think you really do.
And it's only a couple days a week, so I was thinking like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, try that. But this is like the new fad thing, and I don't want to push anyone going into it. Do your research before you do it. Find out your body type and what works well for you. But I am looking into this, and it's something I want to do. Yeah.
I could see you being challenged by it.
Yeah,
I could
like
never.
that.
I just like food too much.
Do you think the working out 6 days a week is too much for most people?
I mean, you're talking to someone that used to work out as an athlete 6 days a week, twice a day. So that's 12 workouts a week. So for me, that would be part of my repertoire as a swimmer. But I don't know.
I wonder if, like, working out, I think we were kind of thinking about, you know, the CrossFit, doing pull-ups. But I think you're eventually going to have a stroller with 2 babies in it. I think a nice, you find a little
that's
path,
exactly what I do. I haven't done a classic workout in 2 years, but I walk. Jordan's walked to my house before, which is a long walk, because in her mind she thought, hello, I'm getting the kids out, and then I'm going to multitask, and I'm going to get an hour workout in. So I think you can be completely flexible and multitask and still hit your calorie count, still make sure that, you know, that you're eating good. I think there's a way for people without nutritionists, without trainers, to be able to adopt this at home. I really do. But as soon as you find out that information, Jeff, like, even if it's, you got to share it, even if it's during the break.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if I start getting on it, I'll let people know.
Let the DBL Nation know.
And also do it with somebody, give you a little accountability.
Accountability buddy. I just learned that word from Leo. From Leo.
Got it.
Yeah.
Is Leo also a kindergartner?
Okay. All right, Star Wars fans, this is for you. Stephanie Jones, take it away.
Well, Sam, we're getting our first look at the final chapter in the Skywalker saga. Get ready to say goodbye to Luke, Leia, Rey, and Kylo Ren. Check it out.
Confronting fear. It's the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny.
Will Rey go to the dark side? Will the Resistance overthrow the First Order? Well, Sam, you'll have to wait until December the 20th to see Star Wars: The Rise of the Skywalker in theaters. I know you're the biggest fan. You entered the Skywalker land.
I did go to Star Wars land, and listen, I am a big Star Wars fan, but I got to be honest with you. Compared to the lands, Harry Potter, Hogwarts is way cooler than Star Wars Land, in my opinion.
I would love to go.
Yes. Now, Stephanie, I heard that they released this trailer, if I have it right. Was this on Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher's birthday, or was it a significant day that I read online?
So I know that obviously, sadly, the original Princess Leia passed away. I know that. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, so I'm not going to lie. I've spent 0 time researching this because I've never seen it. But probably would be very appropriate.
Well, it would be. Well, luckily we have producers that know it all. So Stephanie, we can let our.
I'm sorry, Sam. I think asking Steph questions about something she's never seen is way more entertaining than.
Can I at least update this real quick? So Carrie Fisher's 63rd birthday was last night when they debuted the trailer. So I think for
really
Star Wars fans, that's really important now.
That's really cute.
All right.
Are you glad you interrupted that moment?
Well, I didn't know that you were going to hit me with a death anniversary.
No, it wasn't the death anniversary. It's her birthday.
Steph, you know what else?
Sorry, Steph.
The last lines are, or something that you hear is this: "May the Force be with you," and then she says, you hear Carrie Fisher say, "Always," and it's like,
see, that's really cute.
See,
that makes me think I should, see it.
Well, I'll tell you, Stephanie, I know that you love things like Game of Thrones.
Yes.
I know it's not related, but my point is you love fantasy.
Yeah.
I think that you love sci-fi, you love fantasy. I know that's a whole debate whether or not that Star Wars is either fantasy or sci-fi. And let me tell you, that debate is still alive and well.
I don't think it's a debate.
There is a debate. Even George Lucas has gotten in on that debate and changed his mind on it. That's a real debate. But Stephanie, I'm telling you, get into it, because I feel like you're a huge Star Wars nerd. And you don't even know it.
Well, maybe over Christmas, because I think there's quite a lot of them. So
yes, you're going to need a month or so.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Steph.
guys.
Thank you. Reality star Lauren Conrad welcomed a baby boy earlier this month. She named him Charlie Wolf. Cute, right? Well, Zooey Deschanel is calling her out because she named her son Charlie Wolf 2 years ago. I get it. It's a very unique name. Charlie's not, but when you pair it with Charlie Wolf, you think you're being unique, and then you find out another celeb does the same thing. But it would only bother me if it was my inner circle.
Just so you know, they have a mutual friend.
Oh, that would tick me off.
And there is a mutual friend. You know that was chosen. That's like, you don't just pick Charlie.
Doesn't everyone have a mutual friend to somebody in Hollywood?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying she knew about the name. Zoe Deschanel was being very kind. I'm like, maybe she didn't know about the name. She knew about the name. I mean, they have a very close mutual friend.
How would you feel if you had a mutual friend that named their 2 kids Lawson and Layton? How would you feel?
I wouldn't like that. Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah. Right?
That's weird. But I wouldn't mind if someone wrote me in and they're like, oh, I need my child Lawson because of I like the name.
That'd be flattering.
That'd be flattering.
But in your
for me.
circle, because they're together in their circle. Like,
they are?
The same, well, they're the same age in Hollywood, the same kind of like industry. They're going to see each other. They're going to be around the same people. It's weird to do Charlie Wolf.
Are you saying they're both live in L.A.?
No, they're both
in the circle.
like strong, famous celebrities.
They're not even in the same.
One's
She's
like
fashion.
25,
she's an actress.
and one's 25, one's like 35.
Parties, they're going to at Emmys and stuff. They're going to see each other.
And how's Charlie Wolf? Good. How's your Charlie Wolf? Good.
I wouldn't steal a name, Charlie Wolf.
But weird.
He's going to go by Charlie anyway, so what does this matter?
The name doesn't become as special when someone else has it. I don't like it.
I agree.
I'll tell you this. My middle child, Elijah, is the only, like, my other kids have different names, but Elijah, I was a little worried that he'd be in a classroom with 4 or 5 other Elijahs. It's a very common name. So I kind of understand, like, when your kid to have a name that stands out.
What did you want to name your kid, Al?
Action.
Action Jackson.
Cool. How cool would that have been?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I was going to name him Action. Yeah.
Hey, there could be another one in the future.
Yeah, we'll see.
Are you 3 and done?
Yeah. Hopefully.
I hear you. Trust
that's
me.
enough.
I am 2 and done. There's
You're
no
done?
more. Oh, yeah, I'm done.
Really?
100%.
Don't you wonder how, like, our grandmothers did it with, like, 6 kids?
5
I know.
Your mom.
My mom, she was with me all weekend, and she had 4 kids in 5 years, and never did I see her lose her cool. Never did I see her ever get upset. Even to this day, I was telling my mom, you're the most patient, selfless person I've ever met.
Wow.
And she's just amazing. Some people are just born to have, or just meant to have lots of babies, and they love it.
Yeah, wow.
I'm good with, I'll be good with 2.
Are you done?
I think they're going to have another one.
I don't feel like he is.
I think they're going to have another one.
I'm going to have to get a second job.
Yeah. Well,
I hear you,
welcome to my
Jeff.
world. Jeez.
I know. Coming up on DBL, the most traumatizing scenes in film history. We're sharing our own when DBL comes back.
We're looking.
We're going to play some Disney trivia.
I need to know.
A lot.
Okay, who is the only Disney villain to never actually appear on screen in their respective Disney film?
What? I was looking at Kelly.
Oh, so exhausting being
What about Wizard of Oz isn't Disney?
Not Disney, no, but MGM, but good try. Who's the only Disney villain to never actually appear on screen in their respective Disney film?
The Wizard of Oz?
Let me think.
Oh, you
Hold
pulled
on.
the back the curtain.
Not Little Mermaid.
Let's think.
It's kind of this is. It's back then. It's an older one, and it's kind of one that you have to think outside the box a little bit on.
Bambi.
Bambi's
The
on.
Hunter is.
You
the
never
Hunter.
see the Hunter.
He killed her mom.
That was it. I hated Bambi.
I hate
Yeah, but
What if-
it's
what
such
if-
a good lesson, though.
I don't care. It's too young.
It's not traumatizing. You have to learn.
What's the
Save
lesson?
it because that goes into our next segment.
Good.
Save
What
it,
is-
save
what
it.
are the names of two
Yes.
eels who are Ursula's sidekicks?
Oh, get him, Jepsen. Wait, Schlepsen, Jepsen, dun dun dun. Something in Jepsen?
Yeah, very close.
Schlepsen and Jepsen, da 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 da. Something in Jepsen.
Jewish one. He's so annoyed. The Schlepsum.
Jepsen
No, it's
and-
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Oh,
which
close.
mean like debris in the
Blossom and
ocean.
Jepsen, da 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 da.
That was really good.
Okay.
What is the name of Mulan's horse?
Oh, I never saw Mulan.
I never did either.
Okay, what else?
See, which Disney movie boasts the only soundtrack for an animated film to be certified diamond, which is 10 times platinum?
Probably.
Wait, what's the question again?
Can you listen to the first time? All right.
Either Lion King or Little Mermaid.
Which Disney movie boasts the only soundtrack to go diamond? Which
Oh, I know what it is. It's Frozen.
Frozen?
Gotta be.
I would have to say Lion King.
It's the Lion King. Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, that
That's
was
old,
such a
too.
good.
What a wonderful friend.
Welcome back to DBL. Today we're looking back at movies from our childhood that have stuck with us through the years, but not in a good way. We're talking about the kind of lasting sadness you felt as a child, like after watching Old Yeller. Do you remember that?
No.
Or maybe you're one of those kids who was left traumatized by the flying monkeys in The Wizard of Oz. That was scary. So let's take an interesting walk down memory lane and share the movies we watched as children that still have us messed up. I'll start. You guys, Bambi.
Yeah.
The fact that Bambi's mom was killed by a hunter right from the get-go. Bambi was all by his little lonesome.
Yeah, but you have to learn how to hunt.
Dude, that's way too early.
Are you kidding me?
No, not learn how to hunt.
You gotta learn how to hunt? That's not the... Oh my God.
Learn about death.
Whoa.
You gotta also keep your head on a swivel. Have you ever lived in a major city? Look around.
Back it up. The movie isn't about learning how to hunt. The movie's about, the moral of the story is, and I'm sure a lot of kids could relate to it if they lost a parent, how to find friends and other people to make you feel whole as family members, not how to hunt.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
It's really bad.
What about you, Tori? What about you?
I took this more psychologically. Mine was that scene in My Girl when he gets killed
the
by
bees.
the bees.
That was horrific.
Macaulay Culkin, right? Did anyone else
Of
feel like-
course.
It was a weird time.
Wait, I thought she got killed by the bees.
No, he did. And remember, she went to the funeral and he's in the coffin?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot.
Sorry, spoiler.
Yeah, it's really sad. She got killed by the bees. You're fired.
You're way off.
You're
dude.
done.
Way off.
What about you, Jeff?
Didn't we do this yesterday?
It was at the noon. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Another show. Don't worry about it.
We do a lot of shows. The Exorcist. Look at that. Are you
Growing
crazy?
up and spinning head.
Oh my God.
How old were you when you watched that?
Dude, I don't know. I was young. Like the first time I saw it, like by myself, I was like.
You were alone when you watched it?
Well, the first time, like I was like flipping through the TV and I saw that face. I'm like, well, my world's over. I didn't know what to do.
I felt that way about Pet Sematary when I saw like the evil animals. It was hard for me like to process that. What about you?
Mine was because I thought these were like movies where you didn't see it coming, kind of like My Girl.
Yeah.
Mine was Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, Large Marge.
Large Marge with the eyes.
What was that?
I don't know.
I know.
Really, I did not see that coming.
Me too. I remember rewinding it over and over and over.
It really.
That's a good one, Al.
Really
you
got
redeemed
to me.
yourself.
What about the Roger Rabbit one when Christopher Lloyd's eyes go like this and then he burns?
Yeah, but there was a lot of like fantasy type stuff that happened in that movie, so it made sense. This one was so out of the blue. Yeah, that's a good one, Al.
Yeah,
it's a really
it's just
good
like there are things that happen to you as a kid and you don't really have anybody to tell you're scared to because they're gonna make fun of you. So then you just
So
have
did
to.
that haunt
you just have to take that to bed with you.
Did that haunt you?
It did. That one. I didn't watch it for a long
Large
time.
haunted you?
Also, Thriller scared me.
Oh, that scares a lot of people.
Thriller
It's
got me.
realistic.
Yeah.
Very scary.
Yeah.
I thought E.T. scared me when he got ill. When Elliot and he were both like, E.T., not good.
Oh, I always felt so bad.
Is that what he said?
No, you know, when he was in that tent and he was just like, I feel bad.
Well, he didn't get sick.
He did. He was getting very ill.
Yeah, because he was supposed to be home.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he said I feel.
I don't think he said that.
Yeah, I don't think
that. You're paraphrasing E.T. Yeah. But I understand because no one watches E.T. anymore. It's kind of. That movie did not age well.
No, I don't like it. It kind of freaks me out.
People still watch Back to the Future, but E.T. like no one's like I gotta have my kids watch this.
Right. It scared me.
How long is this segment?
It's over.
Good.
We'll be right back.
If you have medical.
Which voice actor sang Beauty and the Beast from the 1991 animated film of the same name? Beauty and
But it's a voice actor?
the Beast. No, it's an actor.
Oh, it's a well-known
She plays
actor?
Mrs. Teapot. Mrs. Teapot? Is that her name? Mrs. Potts.
So she's not playing Beauty, she's playing...
Right, she sings Taylor's
Oh,
Oldest
oh, I know,
Time.
Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, Lansbury. Very
Lansbury.
nice. Which Disney movie soundtrack featured Mel Gibson?
Wait, which Disneyland? Oh, I know.
Disney's movie
the
soundtrack.
Aladdin.
Pocahontas.
Aladdin.
No, Pocahontas.
Oh.
I'm smart.
Do you think Pocahontas could be made today, or they would?
It's such a... I literally was
I'm
talking
helping
to my
you
mom
out.
about the
I don't like
horrors
cheating.
of-
I'm gonna give the audience
What is
when I
the
know
only
what.
Disney song to win a
Think
Grammy
about
Award
it.
Yeah,
for
that's what I
Song of
asked.
the Year?
bargaining
What?
chip, kidnapped from her family.
What is the only Disney song to win Grammy of the Year for
And then
Song
make it
of the
seem like
Year,
she's
the Grammy
loving
Award?
this. Like, thank God this
Not
guy
Frozen.
came and took me
Yeah,
from everything I
right,
know and love.
Right.
Nope, but that's a great call.
What's this
What's the
one?
Colors of the
only
Wind?
Disney song to win a Grammy Award for Song of the Year?
Frozen?
A whole new world.
Who sang that?
I don't know.
Yeah, who did
Do you have
sing
suntan
it?
lotion on today?
Yes, I was trying to cover it up. Oh, it bothers me so much.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. 70% of Americans use a credit card, so it's no surprise that credit card fraud is a huge problem. You could fall prey and not even know it. So here's what to watch out for. First, be aware of skimmers. They are little devices that sit on top of ordinary credit card slots and are designed to steal your info and your PIN number. Yep, double whammy. Next, you gotta be careful at popular places like fast food restaurants. All those customers makes them easy targets for hacking, so make sure to keep your card in view at all times. And lastly, don't get fooled by free Wi-Fi. So I've been fooled by this many times. Free Wi-Fi allows outsiders to hack your devices. They can gain access to your passwords, photos, even your credit card info. I always take advantage of free Wi-Fi, so that will be a little alert for me from now on.
I hadn't even thought about that, to be honest.
I'm always like, yay, free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we got a great note from our incredible editor, Joel. He said, in terms of the skimmers, if you guys don't know what a skimmer is, when you,
what do they look like?
It's the credit card slot that you use when you use the pump and you don't go
At
inside the gas station. And so you just put your card in there kind of lengthwise.
Or an ATM.
Yeah, or an ATM.
So wait, you can't even detect them?
No, well, what he said, and this makes sense, is because it fits on the outside of it, so it can read your card.
It looks exactly like the outside, so they just put a cap on it, and you don't see it.
And what Joel said is you can actually kind of grab the thing and see if you can pull it off, and if you can't, then you're fine. So just give it a little yank. I know it sounds weird, but
I will give it a little yank.
I was on vacation. I got
Me too.
I always do that.
Yeah.
Me too. I will always do that.
Yeah, because he said it comes right off, so just shake like at the gas station or at the ATM, and if it comes off.
Give it a little yank.
Yeah, you got once in a while.
Yeah.
Oy vey with this. Oy vey.
Wow, we're so mature.
And also,
yes,
I mean,
Al, more?
I didn't know how much time we had, Steph.
Wait, we have more?
Sam? Yes.
My name is Sam.
I call you Steph?
What?
We
could have ended the segment so we could have more of a break,
I was
but
just gonna
what else do you have to say, Al?
What other?
I was going to say be careful when you're in certain coffee shops with your name. When you're going online, using the free Wi-Fi.
You mean like when you get a coffee and they're like, what's your name? You give an alias?
No, when you should not log on to the free Wi-Fi at coffee shops because there are people that just sit there. And
We already reported that part.
Sam just said she did that.
We just talked about that.
Wow. I like your idea of the alias.
Didn't we just
What's your coffee name?
What's your fake coffee name?
You have a fake coffee name?
Oh, you know what? Some people go to Starbucks, they say, this is for Bueller, and then leave. So the guy's going, Bueller?
I don't think anybody
No one does
actually
that.
does
That's
that.
a rumor.
That's a thing.
I've never
That's
heard of
a rumor.
It's a
No one
thing.
does.
It's a thing.
We'll be right back.
And to protect yourself from fraud, call LifeLock at 1-800-495-8730.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. Today we're talking another makeup mistake that most of you are actually doing. It is the nastiest one of all, if you ask me. Yes, my friend, it's using an old, nasty, dirty butt beauty blender. These are terrible for you. Now, they're not always terrible, so let's break it down real quick. You can use beauty blenders, friends. Now, you can use them brand new. They're great that way. Get them a little wet, they help blend out all that full coverage makeup, and it's seamless. Perfect, keep them moving. You can also use beauty blenders if you're washing them occasionally. These are great. They're a great help when you wash them because they're keeping everything sanitary. Now you can buy a liquid cleanser or you can buy the hard cleanser to actually keep these guys nice and clean, and it'll make a world of difference. But the last thing that I want to see you do, my friend, ooh, don't make Jory for the sleigh mad. The last thing that I want to see you do is put this nasty beauty blender right back in your beauty bag and just let it sit there for 2 more weeks until you put on that full coverage makeup again. Whew, you're looking at a makeup artist's nightmare at that point, my friends, because these guys are just a sponge at the end of the day. These are collecting and harvesting bacteria that can be super harmful to your skin. So you know that last time that you broke out, you know the last time that your skin felt kind of weird and it stung a little bit, you know that last time that your makeup just didn't turn out right and it had that murky little brown tint to it? It's not because your makeup's bad. It's not because you have bad skincare. You might check out the skincare videos before. And it's not because like you're just a bad person or anything. It's because you have this nasty, dirty wop beauty blender in your bag and you're not cleaning it or taking care of yourself. So with that being said, I have 2 things that might help you. Back to square one, clean your beauty blender. That is gonna be the first and only thing that you can really do to help yourself. And the second one is, you can just use disposable sponges instead, guys. Alcone wedges are a great alternative to beauty blenders, and you can throw them out and keep them moving, and they're super cheap. Now, for more Beauty Blasts, make sure you're checking me out at Jeray for the Slay, or comment down below for what you want to see on the next Beauty Blast. We'll see you guys next time.
Welcome back to DBL. Here's a spooky Halloween story for you. 18-month-old baby Lincoln was sleeping peacefully in his crib, but look what the baby monitor caught on camera. You see that right there? Yeah, that's a baby ghost in the crib with him. Luckily, in the morning, everything was not what it seemed when it was discovered that it was just a sticker on the mattress. Why didn't they immediately go in there when they saw the baby ghost?
Yeah, why would, maybe she saw it in the morning. Yeah,
they knew. BS.
You think it's a hoax?
If you saw a baby ghost, you would immediately go into your kid's room and be like, oh my God. You wouldn't.
I would think about it for a second.
So the ghost isn't bothering him.
They knew it was how many times you change a crib sheet constantly.
Yeah,
they
right?
knew.
Would
they
you
knew.
leave the sticker on the?
No, but they knew that was the sticker. They knew.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I don't believe in ghosts
I'm
anyway.
hearing. That was interesting. Okay.
Everybody on the panel believes in ghosts.
What was that
correct?
breaking news story?
Nothing.
Tori, you have any comments?
Well, actually, a lot of people wrote in their scariest things from movies.
Oh.
A lot of people agree with you about The Exorcist. It is not a kid's movie. Ray's Vibe says The Omen when I was 6 years old. Jason Anderson said, my dad took us to see Night of the Comet because the previews made it look like an 80s mall comedy. It wasn't. And Pet Sematary was way too weird to be scary to me.
Pet Sematary.
Says Chris Hickman.
Was hard for me
and
to
then
watch.
Labyrinth, Travis agreed. Labyrinth was also scary.
How about Children of the Corn? Remember that?
Oh,
Dang,
yeah.
that was scary.
Dude, we just went to a corn maze and it was daytime and Jordan was like freaking out. And we took like a little ride and you could see people running through the corn and it was freaking. It was daytime out.
Corn mazes are scary.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Shining, too.
Oh, yeah, that's scary.
Yes. Well, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
Red Bra.
Hi everyone, it's Kelly Schubert here with the DBL digital team. It's time for Between the Show with Shuby and Shulman. Here she is. Here's Tori Shulman. Tori, I've got a story for you. Tupac Shakur has been arrested.
Is he a white man who's 19?
He is a white man. He's only 19. Wow. John is going to pull up the picture for us.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right. It could be because he was arrested.
Is that guy only 19?
He was arrested for meth charges. So
his name is Tupac Shakur.
His name is Tupac Shakur. A lot of people were like, oh my gosh, they found Tupac. No, they didn't. This is his name. It's unclear if it's his real name or not, but he was arrested on meth and drug charges. So we were talking about earlier in the meeting today, he looks a little older than what they're saying he is.
Yeah.
I think that's because of the drug use, unfortunately. But
Okay. Why
yeah.
name your kid Tupac Shakur?
And again, it's unclear if this is his real name or if this is just
I just feel like when
the name he took.
If you want to take the name Tupac Shakur, you better be the coolest.
Yeah, you better be awesome.
You can't be average average in any way,
You can't be doing dumb stuff and like going out and getting arrested for drugs. Like you don't do meth. Like no.
So what name, if you could take, would you take?
Wait, what do you mean? Like any name or like a famous person's name?
A famous person, not like Heather. What famous person would
well,
you
I have an alias name.
Oh, what's yours?
I can't tell you.
Well, really?
It's just a secret. It's just like she only comes out sometimes.
Okay,
and
for the rest of the show,
I'm
we're
not
gonna
sure
be
you've
trying
met
to
her
figure
yet.
out Kelly's alias name.
I'm
Is
not
this
sure
where you
you've
have
met
a
her.
couple overserved?
Yeah, not overserved. I
What
usually
is
don't
it?
get overserved. When I'm ready to dance.
Oh.
I'm always ready to dance, actually.
So if you guys have aliases when you have a few, now Beyonce's one is Sasha Fierce. That's how she feels. She
Love
gets on
it,
stage.
love it,
And I want to
love
know your
it.
Sasha Fierce name. Dre's name is
Bayana.
Bayana, which is incredible. So let us know your name, your other alter ego. What is it? Dirk Diggler from Boogie Nights. It's a good name, man. It's a good name. It's a great movie.
Let
God,
us
I
know
love
your
Boogie
alias
Nights.
name. Bye.
Bye.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
President Trump compares impeachment to a lynching, the controversy he's now facing for that comment. Plus, will Lori Loughlin cop a plea in her college admissions case? Why she could get a big break and serve less time than Felicity Huffman. Nicki Minaj's surprise wedding, who she married, and what we know about his sex offender past. And Michael Douglas's son breaks his silence on fame and addiction.
How close were you to dying?
Probably pretty close.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, October 22nd. I'm here with Tori, Erica, Jeff. I am Sam. Let's get right to it. Well, the president called the impeachment inquiry against him a, quote, lynching. Trump tweeted, all Republicans must remember what they are witnessing here, a lynching. And fellow Republican Senator Lindsey Graham agrees with the president's assessment.
I think that's pretty well accurate. This is a sham. This is a joke. I'm going to let the whole world know that if we were doing this to a Democratic president, you would be all over me right now. So yeah, this is a lynching in every sense. This is un-American.
Powerful words. On the other hand, many Democrats and even some Republicans are outraged by the comparison, like Senator Susan Collins, who tweeted, lynching brings back images of a terrible time in our nation's history, and the president never should have made that comparison. Yeah, in 2019, Erica, to even hear that word used to somehow make yourself look like a victim. Do you think he's doing this intentionally? Do you think it's just ignorant?
Yes, for sure. It's definitely intentional, because especially we can always depend on people to be outraged, especially when it's something racially charged, right? So now we're paying attention to this. But it's important to pay attention to this because we have a situation where people are, there's been a lot of revisionist history, and there are also people who are just ignorant to the history of this country. And I disagree with Senator Graham. I think that it's very American when it comes to lynching, because the last lynching, Michael Douglas in 1981, or Michael Donald, sorry, in 1981, a 19-year-old black man in Mobile, Alabama. So that was the year that I was born. So it's not as though this is like something that's from, you know, a million years ago. But we use these terms and then we discredit the meaning of them in order to, I don't know, influence people to believe that it wasn't as bad as we remembered it being, or that history has told us it is. I specifically asked for a few photos because I think it's important that people understand that this was kind of like a Confederate Disneyland where families would come out and watch people hang from trees after.
cheer.
Exactly. So I know that it's uncomfortable, but most things are uncomfortable when they're things that we need to learn from. And I think it's important that we call things for what they are, because if we don't do that, history will repeat itself, and there's no guarantee that it's going to repeat the same way. So when we talk about no one safe, I just want everyone to understand that if we don't call things for what they are, then no one is safe.
Yeah, and I think that's important, because let's put Trump aside. Because everyone's going to say this is all about Trump. You guys hate Trump, blah, blah, blah. Listen, whether this was Trump, whether this was somebody that wasn't currently running, whether it was Bernie Sanders, like whether it was a famous actor, you call it what it is. You can't say that.
Especially Lindsey Graham, I'm really shocked. So he used to say stuff against Trump because he had a spine. I guess he lost it. He doesn't know where it is. But Michael Steele wrote him and said 147 black people were lynched in your state alone. Yeah, lynching, this is a lynching, you know better. And he does know better. Here's the tweet. That is insane that a career politician like Lindsey Graham in a southern state like South Carolina is not aware that lynching would trigger an enormous amount of historical context. Not only this, I just want to give you a quick story of why I think this was planned. In 2005, Trump went on Howard Stern and said, for The Apprentice one year, I wanted it all whites with blonde hair versus all blacks. And Stern said, well, that's going to be like a racial war. You don't want that. And he's like, think of the ratings. So he thinks of it as, I'm going to dip this in, dog whistle it, they're going to go
I don't
crazy.
think it's that strategic. I think you're giving him too much credit.
I think he's distracting
Okay, then
us
what was his strategy back when he was demonizing the Central Park Five? What was his strategy?
I think he's also somewhat
What
racist.
was his strategy back in the 80s where a lot of his employees at casinos would claim that the black people would have to go hide when certain influential figures would have to come in?
In 73, he didn't even allow them into his building.
So
I agree.
There was no upside. But my point is there was no spin zone. Right. It was just you inherently got to see someone's character. So I think we need to remember that too.
But I think now he wants a distraction. Right now he needs it desperately to not be impeachment in the news cycle. He needs something else, and right now it's lynching.
Well, when there's racist tendencies, let's just be really clear. You don't know where the line is that you're going to expose yourself because there is no line. So this is a person who has no line. So he's very honest in that way. It's almost a gift to us. We don't have to pretend to figure it out. He's telling us what it is. But in terms of Lindsey Graham being from South Carolina, that is considered Confederate Disneyland. And it's interesting that he wouldn't have spoken out against that, especially considering the Emmanuel 9.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. I know. But chime in, please, DBL Nation. Michael Douglas and his son Cameron are opening up about Cameron's struggles with drug addiction. The two spoke with Diane Sawyer about their family life, and Michael revealed how hard it is as a parent to not blame yourself.
I'm just, laughing because you rack your brain. You take it personally. In the beginning, you start blaming yourself. Then you look at your genetic makeup. My career was first.
That's your choice, honey. That has nothing to do with
My
me.
career came before my family.
So what's on your mind, Kimasabi?
My marriage was not great, and so you do hide yourself in your work.
Cameron spent 7 years behind bars, including 2 years in solitary confinement. He's now 40 years old. Okay, Jeff, you're a father to two. How do you not blame yourself as a parent? And I know with Michael Douglas, and I give him credit for being so transparent and forthright about regrets as a parent, right? I mean, he was absent as a parent, and he did have a really bad marriage while he had that child. So those are things that do leave a child broken. I'm not saying that's what causes drug addiction, but it definitely doesn't help.
Right, and for me, this is why family is so important, because I want to give my children every chance that they can get. Doesn't mean they're going to be perfect, doesn't mean they're not going to fall victim to some sort of alcohol addiction or something else, but in my mind, I feel like I'm going to be responsible for them. I feel like my parents raised me the right way, and I want to raise my children the right way. So I see where Michael Douglas is coming from. Sometimes I do put my work before my children, and I get caught on that, or my wife will check me on that. And I say, you know what, I do have to pay more attention to the family. I do have to do that. So these things are very important to me. You never can tell what your children are going to be, but I think your parents have a very big influence on what you are going to be.
Yeah.
And not only, I was just thinking about the Douglas family, not only is it Michael Douglas, it's Kirk Douglas.
Yes.
That's two generations you're trying to live up to.
That's a great
lot
point.
of pressure you're feeling every day. Not only can you not go to your dad, you can't go to your grandfather.
Well, not only that, as children, what I always learned from Dr. Drew is children will place the blame on themselves. If mom and dad are fighting, or mom and mom, dad and dad, whatever your relationship status is at your home, if the parents are fighting, you'll blame yourself. If the parents get divorced, you'll blame yourself. If one of the parents chooses to work too much, even if they have to keep the lights on, you'll blame yourself. Wow. And so all that self-blame, all that self-guilt lends to many different abusive behaviors. So it's heartbreaking. It really is. But I do appreciate him being so forthright later on. A surprise announcement from Nicki Minaj. She just revealed that she's married to this man, Kenneth Zuppetti. She confirmed the news with the Instagram video, her Instagram video showing Mrs. and Mr. mugs, along with hats that read bride and groom. But Erica, I was reading the comments, people are slamming this marriage, even though apparently, because I did some digging, they knew each other back when they were 16. Right. Then they kind of distanced themselves themselves. But, you know, he does have two convictions, one for manslaughter, the other one for attempted rape with a sharp object. She defends him, saying there's two sides to every story. If that was your friend, what would you do?
If that was my friend, I would have to support her.
Would you have a talk?
Well, you're not going to win in a situation like that. Either you think that it's too much for you to handle and therefore you're eliminating your friendship, or you don't. I mean, here's the thing. Once you've decided you're in love with someone, no girlfriend's going to come in and be like, no, you not, girl. You should leave him.
That's a good point.
Because she will leave you before she leaves him.
It's so true.
And I think you have a good point about the idea that they've known each other since they were 16. And Nicki Minaj is probably somebody who's looking for someone who thinks real of her, like before the Nicki Minaj.
Or the glitz and the glamour. And it's probably hard to find someone after the fact, because then you're like, are they marrying me for me or for all of this?
And when you go back to your high school days, like you know, Mike, the situation went back to his old girlfriend. Now he's married from his high school days.
I didn't know that, yeah.
You know that person loved you for you. That was before he was Jersey Shore, all that.
And fame and money and followers.
I mean, take away from what this man may or may not have done on the record. She's going back for security, even though it is a checkered past. She's going back for security. She's a super famous star. How do you find someone that doesn't know who you are and maybe, you know, are with you with the wrong reason?
I read it from the other side, and maybe I'm glasses half full today, but I felt like she has so much to lose. And for someone with a criminal past, you got to be careful of all of the wealth that you've amassed that you don't. Although I know she's known him. He's been in jail for some horrific things. So you don't want to just because you've known him for a long time, you don't want to just not be vulnerable.
You would want her to be cautious.
Yeah, very.
Isn't it half empty?
Yeah, what'd I say?
Half full.
I did?
Yeah, you did. I was like, wait, where's the optimistic?
Where's the positivity?
I messed up the liquid.
This guy should be back in jail. Let's keep it positive.
DBL is live coming up. Can Lori Loughlin save herself from a lengthy prison sentence if she's convicted? We'll tell you why she could take a plea deal. Plus, you know her from the hit 90s show Sister Sister, but now Tia Mowry is sharing her love of cooking with the world. Find out what she's been up to. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Some airports are allowing you to go past security without a ticket. So is this a good idea or a serious security threat? Your comments next. Salma Hayek, welcome to Daily Blast Live.
Got a hit show.
100%.
The button to the NSYNC story. So this means so much to us.
I feel like we're old friends.
Salud, salud. Salud.
Can you stand with me?
Hey, Gwen, welcome to Daily Blast Live.
Hey, how's
I'm mostly worried about you and Sam, Jeff.
We got our ear to the streets here at DBL. How you feeling?
I'm really good, man, really good.
We love when we can bring comfort to people.
It was such an honor to speak with you. It was so nice to meet you. Big fan of yours. Thank you.
I'm black. I don't jump off the ship while it's still floating, Jack.
Did you feel a special sense of responsibility as a woman?
No.
Or did that not even come into it?
Never occurred to me. I like to remind people that news isn't always going to make you happy.
Right.
Anyone who knows me should probably not be president.
Appreciate you, Sarah. So I just want to thank you personally for that.
My pleasure. It was inspiring.
I feel like we're on Oprah.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. Well, if you live in one of 3 cities in the U.S., your local airport could be your actual destination. New programs in Pittsburgh, Tampa, and Detroit can get you through TSA to enjoy food courts and shops, plus more time with loved ones, all without a boarding pass. This access to terminals still requires proper identification, but some travelers fear new security threats and more traffic. So DBL Nation, are you on board with this? Take it away, Tori.
On board. All right, Dan from Twitter says, heck no, we might as well just hand over the keys to the cockpit too. You know, what's interesting, I thought the same thing, and then I realized that the 9/11 hijackers were all ticketed passengers, so it's not the same. I'm worried about the line, I gotta be honest. It's too busy, too awful, too long, and too many people. I get it for young kids, but there's already a thing for that, so I'm not for it only because I wanna get to my plane.
Okay. Well, Tammy from Facebook says, I've dreamed about being able to wait for my boyfriend at the gate when he comes home from his long work trips, just like in any old school romantic comedy.
I love it.
Tammy, you cute. But I have done that because I'm old enough to, and let me tell you, to me, it is not worth the breach and possible security breach. I do understand the unaccompanied minor thing, and I've had to do that a couple times before. I know it takes longer, but I still think it's worth it. I'm a little alarmed by the idea of raising revenue in the airline when you're talking about grabbing drinks and shopping at the.
That's exactly what
So
they
is
might
it
be
about
thinking.
grabbing more revenue, or is it about making things more convenient?
Dollars for old romantic comedies.
Yeah.
They don't make enough money. Okay. Russell from Facebook says, I remember my brother and my sister coming to see me between flights and always making it a point to take family pictures. Cool. Right now, I think there's way too many people at the airport. There's way too many cars at the airport. I don't need more people. And why would anyone go and eat or drink at a hotel or at an airport bar? It's double the price already. Wake up. Getting bamboozled. Everything. Man.
All right, Laurel from Facebook says, I can't stand airports. You sound like Jeff. Who in their right mind goes there just for fun? Okay, Jeff. Listen, I get it, but I do have really fond memories of my grandparents or even my parents when I was my first couple years in college meeting me at the gate. So for that reason, I'm all for it. I love it.
I don't like it.
I love it.
Baggage claim is good. The guy with the sign.
No, it's not as much.
You're fine.
No, I just dropped my parents off at the train station here in Denver, and I would have taken the time to take them to the airport, walk them to, if I had a day off, walk them to the gate, have lunch with them. I would have taken any moment to extend my time with them. So I'm for this.
I would have been like, bye, Mom.
Yeah. I'd be so mad at my parents going through the airport for no reason just to see them off. I'd rather give them a nice hug, a nice kiss.
What if it was a layover here in Denver and you had a friend that had a 2-hour layover? Wouldn't you want to be able to see them real quick?
That I have thought about because my sister used to have layovers here all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, by the time you get out of, then you start thinking that way because I'm like, I could have just gone there. But,
the airport's
still not worth
it away.
Yeah, it is. We're not too close to the airport.
No.
That's true. All right. Cody from YouTube, we have more comments. Growing up, my dad would take me to the airport to watch planes take off. I'm about to be a dad and hope to share that memory with my child. So there you go.
You can do that outside.
Yeah, guys, figure it out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I guess there's some nostalgia.
Yeah, there is. But
there.
it's we can move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Perhaps I'm hanging on a little bit to some of those old memories. Just a bit. Coming up on DBL, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon are letting us in on their fitness secrets, why their routine might not be for everyone. And Tia Mowry was one half of the hit show Sister Sister. So does she have any plans to team up with her sister again? Our Lindsay Granger finds out next in Chatting with the Stars.
If you have met...
We're live.
What up?
This is Travis. I'm Stephanie. It is Tuesday, and we have got a Twitter poll. I was trying not to show you the results there. So our Twitter poll, which is also our 5th host today, is should you be allowed past security at the airport without a ticket? Now the results are in, but until I tell you the results, Travis, what are the people saying?
They are saying pretty much everybody's kind of content with it. Saying like Barb, I love Barb from Facebook. She's my favorite.
You love her?
Yeah, I love her.
Hey, Barb.
She says, why would anyone want to spend time in an airport is beyond me. Just welcome your loved ones to baggage claim.
Okay, I get that, but imagine, let's say you're going away for a really long time. Like my brother, for instance, went traveling for a year, and my mum and dad were so sad to leave him. They were like, no, they wanted to spend any last minute they could with him. So I kind of get that, but also, if someone's coming back, then baggage claim's okay, but if they're going,
yeah,
that's kind of different,
and
right?
And when I go somewhere, sometimes like when I'm walking out the airport by myself, I'm like, wow, I'm really traveling by myself. I don't have any loved ones or anything, you know, so you kind of feel lonely. So I can understand that wanting to see someone all the way through, I guess.
Yeah? Okay, what else are people saying? Have we got anyone else writing in?
Yeah, Michelle says, just before 9/11, I was waiting for my flight home in O'Hare. I observed a sketchy occurrence where there was no requirement for boarding pass.
Wow.
So that is...
Shall we leave the results to the next break, or should we say the results?
Let's say the results.
Saving.
Welcome back to DBL. Tia Mowry became a huge star with her twin sister Tamara thanks to their hit show Sister Sister. Now Tia is finding success with a Netflix series and her own cooking show on the Cooking Channel. DBL co-host Lindsey Granger sat down with Tia to talk family food traditions in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Tia, welcome to DBL. I see you're in the kitchen right now, and I love your Quick Fix YouTube channel.
Hi guys, what's up? Tia Mowry here. So I am really excited to introduce my YouTube channel, Tia Mowry's Quick Fix.
Amazing! I know that everyone knows that you have a twin, Tamara, right? Of course, your iconic sister from Sister Sister.
Yes.
So what do you see as the perfect project for you and Tamara to work on now as grown adults?
Oh my gosh, you know, that's a really, really good question. You know, I really enjoyed collaborating with her. We have with writing a book. So my sister and I, we actually have a book that's out right now called Twin Tuition. So I would love to do another book series with my sister. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Or like a Twitches reboot. Everybody loves Twitches.
Your Netflix show, Family Reunion, just got renewed for a second season. I want you to paint a picture of your real life family reunions.
My family reunion is definitely involving food. Let's just say that, okay? Because we are all foodies. And I will say one thing that just I grew up on and one thing that I know that my family just truly enjoys, including my family, are pancakes. And that's what I have right in front of me. These are some incredible pancakes that I've made, and instead of using flour, I'll use my favorite oats. And I grew up making pancakes. That was like a part of my childhood with my sister. Now, you know, I'm making pancakes for my family.
And where can we get more information?
Oh my gosh, you can totally get more information. As you can see, and as you know, I have lots of fun in the kitchen, and I'm encouraging other people to get out there, create their own recipes. Quaker has a promotion going on right now. If you submit your recipe, you can have a chance at winning $1,000, and to learn more about that, go to cookwithquaker.com.
Thank you, Tia.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Great interview, and what a beautiful kitchen. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Right guys, so in the last break, me and Travis, who's now recording this as I talk, we're talking about the old Twitter poll. Should you be allowed past security at the airport without a ticket? Drum roll please. I don't have a drum roll, so yeah, that's it. The results were yes, 17%, no, 83%. The Twitter poll will be open all day. Head on over to twitter.com/dailyblastlive. Do not put the asterisks in there because that's not going to help you. Okay, moving onwards. I've got some very delightful items. They're not for sale, they're not for charity. These are, in fact, our very own Alex Delia's.
Actually, they're Leo's.
Oh, okay, they're Leo's.
Never mind.
But Leo's gone, so I'll step in for Leo.
So I've never seen Star Wars, but I do know this little dude. I know him because he sits on Alex and Leo's desk, and I think it's really cute. Do tell, what is this?
This is a porg.
And what is a porg?
It's like a bird thing.
Are they friendly, not friendly?
They're very friendly.
They don't eat humans?
No.
Oh.
They get eaten by Chewbacca.
Chewbacca. Is that the hairy one?
Yes.
Oh, so I mean, look, this is pretty cool. This is some Star Wars merchandise in the studio. I love it. That's cute. What else do we know about them?
Open up that coloring book.
No,
and
this
see,
is a colouring and activity book.
So see see if there's anything you recognize in any of these pictures.
I know, is that Yoda?
Yes.
He's the little green man.
Mhm.
I think he's magic.
Yeah.
He has
So,
powers.
yeah. Star Wars is kind of about magic.
Is it magic?
It's the Force.
The Force? So is that like, when it says the Force, what is the Force?
It's like positive thinking and stuff.
So does everyone have the Force?
No.
So only some people have the Force?
I mean, there's a little Force in all of us, but only a few can like
Master.
really be like Jedis because they're so good at the Force.
Oh, and is that what it is? Like, what happens if you can master it? Like, what does that mean?
Then you're a Jedi and you can do
Tricks?
all kinds of good stuff. Or you can go the other way and get on the dark side.
And then what happens if you're on the dark side? You kill?
You'll have to see the movie to find out.
Oh, wow.
We're still figuring it out.
So what are these just like spaceships?
Those are AT-ATs or AT-ATs.
Right.
And that's snow cruiser.
Right. See, this is all a learning.
Those are TIE fighters.
TIE fighters.
Yeah.
So are they like in space fighting things?
Everything
So that's kind of
everything
like
is in space.
So that's kind of like, you know, an aircraft.
Yes.
Learning.
It's a spacecraft.
Tune in next week for more Star Wars trivia.
Welcome back to DBL. Tori, comments underneath that newspaper of yours?
Sorry, I'm reading the Science Times. It's my absolute favorite part of the New York. Okay, someone wrote, Ray Cordoba wrote us on Facebook, before the TSA was created and signed into law in 2001, one of the best parts about being in an airport was witnessing all of the love.
Yes.
Do you remember in the opening and closing of Love Actually? In a world of hatred and greed, love is everywhere at an airport. Often it's not newsworthy, but it's always there. Fathers, sons, mothers, daughters, husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, old friends, all seeing each other get off a plane, bring that back. As far as I know, the hijackers that prompted the creation were not non-ticketed. Wow,
I
that's
love
beautiful.
that.
That's
I
the
feel the
beginning
same
of that.
way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jeff?
I don't.
It was a nice sentiment, but I kind of be like, well, do it
I don't
later.
see any love at all at an airport.
Wow, you
That's
really have
because
a
it's
black...
been a while. It's been a while.
Everyone's just miserable. Everyone hates everyone at the airport, and the ticket agents hate everyone else, and everyone just hates everybody.
I love the airport.
Yeah, I'm
well, you
good
know,
with
when I'm
it.
going someplace fun.
True.
Stop and have a drink.
I know. You're on the way to vacay.
I have PTSD every time I go to Denver Airport
You
because
put
I had
that
to spend
out there. You
no,
put that
because I
out
had to
there.
spend the night there
Oh,
on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't put it out there. My body was put out there.
Manifestation. Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
Lori Loughlin could be switching up her defense strategy big time. Could copping a plea keep her out of prison? Plus, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon's fitness secrets. Wait till you hear what they do to keep the weight off. And the final chapter of the Skywalker saga.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir. At my friends.
Brand new scenes from the Star Wars movie when DBL comes back.
Right now, President Jimmy Carter is in the hospital after falling at his home in Georgia. Now, this is the third time he's fallen in recent months. The first time he had to have hip replacement surgery, and then earlier this month he fell again and had to get 14 stitches. But let's be clear, our former president is a badass. After falling the second time, he traveled to Nashville the next day to attend a rally for Habitat for Humanity. President Carter, we're all hoping you get well very soon. And have you ever been so sick you just can't get out of bed to get your prescription filled? CVS wants to help with that. The pharmacy chain is partnering with UPS to deliver your medicine via drone. That's right, your medicine will be flown to your house. The best part? CVS says its drones will even fly to rural areas, and fast. Sign me up. Here's a feel-good story for your Tuesday. A mom was pulled over by a Milwaukee police officer because he noticed her 2 young daughters weren't in car seats. But get this, instead of giving her a fat ticket, Officer Kevin Zimmerman decided to go above and beyond for the single mother and buy and install 2 car seats for the girls. The mom says the girls couldn't stop thanking the officer, and it put a huge smile on their faces. Way to go, Officer Zimmerman. All right, guys, this has been Fast Blast for you. Make sure you tune in later for our entertainment edition of Fast Blast with Raquel Villanueva. Bye now.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. We are live. Let's get started, shall we? Well, Lori Loughlin is facing a new charge in the college admission scandal. Prosecutors just added bribery to the list. This makes it all the more likely that she will take a plea deal after all. You'll remember she and her husband allegedly paid a $500,000 bribe to get her daughters into USC, but that could be considered less harmful than what Felicity Huffman did, which was rig her daughter's SAT score, and that potentially has affected every student. But Tori, she's still facing more jail time. When you add up all the charges.
Yeah, she's up to 40 years.
So Lori Loughlin is a more egregious charge, considering that Felicity Huffman was convicted for 13, or is now facing 13 days. She's serving.
Yeah, so think of it like a charcuterie board, and each thing they put on is a new charge. So they started kind of low. I thought that was
I like this analogy. I love me some charcuterie.
Okay. Cheese board in the moment. So like they put food out, and they're like, "Do you want to plea?" Felicity Huffman's like, "I see formaggio. Yeah, I'm gonna plea." But Lori Loughlin's like, "No." So then they added 3 more charges of mail fraud, and they added wire fraud. That's up to 40 years.
What do you think she'll do?
She'll cop a plea.
Really?
Yeah.
So how long do you think she'll face?
A month and a half. I want her to face a year. She's up to 40 years. What I'd like to see is 6 months plus. But I think the super light sentence of Felicity Huffman leads me to believe.
Yeah, but the damage is already done, though. At least with Felicity Huffman, she took the bait. She immediately had some sort of accountability, some remorse, and you root for her. Even if we see Lori Loughlin end up taking this plea deal, it looks like strategy. It doesn't look like she took accountability.
It's all about strategy. I think it's also going to become somewhat political as well, like setting a precedent or not setting a precedent. But I also think that she's going to get an annoyance tax because people are really frustrated with the fact that she held out for so long when everybody else has just been pleading right and left.
But did she do the right thing? Because they kind of are meeting her at the table now. I mean, at some point, she had some leverage with that.
Jeff said from day one, she's not going to serve a day.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. If they find some kind of loophole, they're already saying they're going to drop certain charges. That's why they keep putting more charges on her, and it seems like they keep wiggling out of them. So we'll see if she could buy her way out of jail.
Yikes. Wow. That's the reality for a lot of people in this country. Elliot from E.T. was arrested for DUI. Actor Henry Thomas was in Oregon. Someone called the cops last night when they saw a car parked in the middle of a residential intersection. And that's all we know. This is a developing story. We do know that he was released from jail this morning, so he is no longer behind bars. We don't know exactly if he was under drug abuse or if it was alcohol or if anybody was in danger, but he was found in the middle of an intersection. So
he's a fantastic actor too. He was there's a war movie he was recently in that.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was still acting.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you're like, that's the guy from E.T.? Yeah, he's a fantastic actor. In fact, the YouTube video of him auditioning for E.T. went viral. It's him and Spielberg. And
I've seen it.
He cries like that and then stops. And then the acting is freaking believable.
So he has been, here's more recent. So he's been in things recently.
Yes, he's in if someone can look it up, he's been in a war movie or a soldier where he played you know what it was in? With Brad Pitt. Legends of the Fall. He played the youngest brother.
That was a while.
Yeah, that was a while.
I was in high school when I saw that.
I like that movie a lot.
Whoa, that was like 20 years ago.
Well, you know, maybe. Yeah.
I wonder who he
Legit, that was like 1994. I'm pretty positive. Whoa.
Love that movie with
I wonder who he phoned for his one phone call.
Oh, yeah, phone home.
There you go.
Oh, good job, Jeff.
Thanks.
Should have phoned Lyft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon are revealing their secrets to staying fit. Jen goes without solid food for at least 16 hours, while Reese drinks a green juice and a coffee in the morning and works out 6 days a week. Doable? Anybody into this?
I mean, if you're going to make it your job, which it is their job,
that's
I mean,
true.
that's a big priority for them to look a certain way. I have decided I cannot diet ever again in my life. I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
No, I cannot. I cannot.
There's
What
a
I have
difference
to
between
do,
dieting and like really being mindful of just like being good to yourself.
just on a regular basis.
That's how I
Because
eat.
I've done the 3-month, 6-month, 8-month thing, and then I end up yo-yoing, and it makes me crazy. So I decided to do something different, and it's been working for me. I don't look at the scale. My husband does, but I don't look at the scale. He looks at it. I turn the other way. And then it's been going almost on like 8 months.
And you
I
know
haven't
what I
looked
do?
at the
I just
scale.
look at ingredients. It's the only thing I do is I always look at the back of a box or a jar and see, okay, what are the first 4 ingredients? If it's things that are healthy and that I can pronounce, I'm all in. If it's like a bunch of junk or starts with sugar or an oil, I won't touch it. And I feel a lot better. So.
Yeah, the scale for me never worked. I started losing weight as soon as I put the scale away because I started working out, and then because I was gaining weight while working out, and then I'd be like, well, why do I want to work out? But as soon as I put it away, it just dropped, and I can't look at it. It's just better for me.
Yeah. There's so many resources now that would have been a Reese Witherspoon or Jennifer Aniston, like Everly Well, like knowing what your food sensitivities are. I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to be eating gluten, and that's a big game changer when you don't know things like that.
Yeah.
So I think you have that.
Know your body.
Right, exactly.
Jeff?
Yeah. I think we got it, yeah.
Good one. Star Wars fans, this is for you, Stephanie Jones. Take it away.
Well, Sam, we're getting our first look at the final chapter in the Skywalker saga. Get ready to say goodbye to Luke, Leia, Rey, and Kylo Ren. Check it out.
Confronting fear. It's the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny.
So will Rey go to the dark side? Will the Resistance overthrow the First Order? We'll have to wait until December the 20th to see Star Wars, the rise of the Skywalker. Skywalker. I mean, I've said this 3 times and I still can't get it right. Sam, help me out here.
The funny thing is Stephanie has not seen these movies, but I know Stephanie loves fantasy. She loves sci-fi. What better franchise than Star Wars for her? She would love it. So Stephanie,
sell it to me. Why, Sam? Why? Tell me.
Okay, ready?
Oh.
Good versus evil. Fathers versus sons.
Don't ruin it for her.
Jealousy versus humility. It is everything that humans, the tapestry of what we are made for, and a fight for the best.
You would love it, Stephanie. And let me tell you, for the Princess Leia fans out there, Carrie Fisher. So last night they released the trailer, Stephanie, on her 63rd birthday.
Cute.
And they took all the unused footage that they weren't able to use from the last film with Carrie Fisher before she passed away for this film. Ugh. So this is the last time that we'll actually see Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia. Yeah, considering. But after hearing Tori's plea and my plea, are you going to give it a go?
You know, I'll probably give it a go over Christmas because I don't know how many episodes, movies there are, but I think there's quite a few.
You can skip the prequels.
They're terrible.
So, okay,
skip those.
Good tip. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Stephanie. Reality star Lauren Conrad welcomed a baby boy earlier this month. She named him Charlie Wolf. Cute, right? Well, Zooey Deschanel is calling her out because she named her son Charlie Wolf 2 years ago. Yeah, that's weird, especially because I guess they do have mutual friends. And if it's someone I didn't know, I'd be like, cool, like, sweet. But if it was someone in my circle, I'd be like, what?
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Right?
I wouldn't like that.
If like I all of a sudden was gonna have a boy and named it Leighton, what would you?
Weird.
It's weird.
It'd be super weird.
Right?
Yes.
Leighton Sardes or whatever. What's the middle
Can you
name?
imagine?
Sardes. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird that she picked Charlie Wolf. It's so specific.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
Seven
odd,
from
too.
Seinfeld.
Especially if they have mutual friends, you know.
Totally. Pick a different animal. Charlie, like llama or something.
Or if you're stuck on Wolf, make it Bradley Wolf.
Johnny Wolf.
Yeah,
That's
Georgie
good.
Wolf.
Bradley Wolf.
I will say this is
said
very.
Bradley.
Oh, you did?
Didn't I?
I've lost it.
This
After
is
the third one, I was
Erica,
out.
what do you make of this?
This is very strange. I know this is going to sound crazy, but because I'm not even pregnant and this isn't even a thing. But when I heard my nephew's name, I had like real name envy. I was like, that is such a good
what
name.
name is it?
His name's Langston. And I was like, why is Langston never crossed my mind?
that's cool.
It's the best name.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You don't really want like to hear that again. Like there are Laytons and Lawsons out there, but I don't want them to go to school with 3 Lawsons.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean? Because you're
The
trying to
name
be.
theory comes.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Like all of a sudden, Katie was like everywhere and, like 77.
But it's weird how that works because I didn't go to school with another Erica until high school, and then there were 4 of us.
Ericas.
So I just thought
You know
Erica
why?
wasn't a very common name.
I think Erica got really popular from Days
Erica
of Our Lives.
Keene.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was like,
I do.
where
I
were
think
they
a lot
before?
of moms out there, huh?
Like, where were they before?
I think,
Different schools.
yeah, I think so.
Charlie Wolf.
Well, a driver in Georgia is lucky to be alive right now. He rear-ended a logging truck. His car was impaled. Logs from the truck came through the windshield, clear into the back seat, and the driver walked away only with minor injuries, if you can believe that, because he was leaning down to pick something up that he dropped, which also is what caused the crash, but still.
It's like they said the EMTs found him. They said he was in a perfect shell.
Oh.
Like that pocket
It
right
gives me
there
chills.
is like his head was like the log. Can you imagine you pick something up and you stop and it goes.
You would have been decapitated.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My God. Good. That's a God moment for me.
But it's ironic because the reason he
Don't bend over.
smashed
Yeah.
was
Bend
because
over, I
he
know.
wasn't looking. You
Right.
know?
Yeah. That is a little hard to hear.
Especially in the shower. Is that what you're going with?
No.
What else were you getting at?
Oh my God. No.
We're going to do prison lingo? And pretend like it's weird now?
You just took it.
Okay, I took it there. What were you thinking?
No, I just didn't. I say things out loud that without a lot of context.
So you weren't thinking that at all?
No, I just knew when I said that I should have provided additional context, and then you come in
But
with additional
what was your context?
I just knew that my context as "don't bend over" wasn't.
What was that for?
Well, I just know it needed more proper context. I don't.
But what were you thinking? If you were thinking,
are you doing this to her?
Because I want her to say I was thinking the same thing. That's what I wanted to say.
No, I wanted to make sure I had
Everyone in
proper
this room was thinking the same
context.
thing.
I wanted to make sure I had proper context. So I was about to add some additional information, and then you come in to save the day.
Yeah, I did save the day. I hit the punchline. You set it up, and I knocked it out of the park. Boom.
Coming up on DBL, the most traumatizing scenes in film history. We're sharing our own when DBL comes back.
So someone said Charlie Horse. Langston, people are agreeing, is an awesome name.
So
of
how
course,
did they come up with that?
Langston
Well,
Hughes,
Langston.
those poets.
That would fit.
great.
Langston would fit in with
Yes.
L names.
So if you guys remember, is there a favorite name that you've had from a movie or a friend that you've always wanted to have? So my friend named their kid Aslan.
Where's that from?
That's from
Lion
Lion
of
of
the Wardrobe.
Yeah, he's the lion.
He's the lion.
And they're
I
very
love
Christian. It's
Aslan.
actually a very Christian book.
I love
So
Aslan.
Aslan represented Jesus.
But I wouldn't name my kid Aslan, but I like Aslan.
My brothers told me, this was like super young, and they always say that again to me. He was a DePaul college basketball player, this guy named Dallas Comegys.
Whoa.
What was his name?
Dallas Comegys. And he was played for DePaul. I'm like, man, I would love for that to be my name.
Dallas.
I'm like, I'm gonna name my kids
It's like
that.
Dirk Diggler. That's
But
great.
I was like 5, and my brothers always say that. They're like, remember when you wanted to be Dallas Comegys? I thought it was like the coolest name. I forgot, but my brothers still
You know
remind me
that
about
Bud Cianci was the mayor of Providence, Rhode Island, and he married Nancy Ann, and she's Nancy Ancy Nancy. That's very funny. He was then charged for embezzlement, but that's a whole other story. So don't worry about that. Yeah, he's in jail. I believe he's in jail. And the Lear family, you know the Lear family? The Lear family named their kid Shonda, so it'd be Shonda Lear.
Okay.
That's too much.
Her name was Season.
Oh boy.
I can't remember her last name.
Well, this is going well.
But she married the guy. His last name was Travelbee, so her name is Season Travelbee.
Whoa. Brooks's roommate is something Cash Dollar, and her name is Crystal, so she became Crystal Cash Dollar.
Coming to the stage.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
Stage number 4, Crystal Cash Dollar.
There was a quarterback for Florida State.
Welcome back to DBL. Today we're looking back at movies from our childhood that has stuck with us through the years, but not in a good way. We're talking about the kind of lasting sadness you felt as a child, like after watching Old Yeller, that one hurt. Or maybe you're one of those kids who was left traumatized by the flying monkeys in The Wizard of Oz. That was a little scary for some. So let's take an interesting walk down memory lane and share the movies we watched as children that still have us messed up. I'll start. Bambi. When Bambi lost his mom to the hunter, I just, and I know it's, I'm sure, a great lesson for a lot of kids out there, just like with Mufasa in Lion King. If you were to be without a parent, you can relate to Bambi, but it was hard for me to watch that and see that.
Disney doesn't have, I don't think, any parents that are, one of them has always passed away. Disney is it's based on fairy tales, and they're always like the King Trident.
Little Mermaid.
Yeah, it's just the King Trident. She doesn't have a mom.
Oh, she doesn't?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a grim story, actually.
Okay, there are a lot of grim stories. Yeah. What about you, Erica?
Speaking of grim, it would be Candyman.
Oh, Candyman
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch that movie. I was like, oh my gosh,
Candyman.
I'm only 30 miles away from him right now. He's gonna get on the Eisenhower Expressway and come and get me. I slept with Big Mama and Ebony in a full-size bed because I was that petrified.
So you wouldn't say his name multiple times?
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah. I loved Candyman. There's something about that movie that I loved.
And that was at Cabrini Green, so the bars were right around that place. Even like in college, like that's where they filmed Candyman. You know?
Oh no, my relation to Cabrini Green was a little different than that, but I did think 35 miles down the street.
Yikes, he could come get you.
That was mine, and I was scared too.
What about you, Jeff?
I'm still scared as an adult of The Exorcist.
Oh yeah.
The original.
Yep.
Look at that. I feel like I'm getting bad like demons.
I know, the way her head would spin and vomit.
Yeah,
That's the
I don't
vomit
like
thing.
it.
That's right.
I don't like
And you almost think, you hear people say all the time that they've been possessed, so you're like, could that really happen?
Yeah.
You've heard of possession.
I know. I don't like scary movies with like religion.
Right.
I like scary movies when they pop out or things like that. But religion, I feel like I don't know.
It gets a little close.
Yeah.
I feel you. I don't like, now I realize what you just said. Mine is My Girl. And get this, it's when Macaulay Culkin dies from being stung by bees, and she sees him in the coffin. I just realized something. He got sick. I was worried about my mom getting sick. It was always when people got ill. When Elliot got sick in E.T., I didn't like it. It's always when people got ill.
That makes a lot of sense.
That makes sense. It just reminded me.
It hit close to home.
Yeah.
But that was a disturbing moment.
It was
they
weird.
loved each other.
They
It was
were best
heartbreaking.
friends. And then the bees, everyone's seen a bee.
I know. That was a heartbreaking one.
Yeah.
All right, how much more time do we have, David? 1 more minute.
1 minute.
Any other movies that stand out to you?
Remember when we said this yesterday, but remember Ghostbusters when you thought it was like so fun, but in the library when that thing came out and like opened its mouth? That was freaky because I was super young and that's supposed to be like a kid's movie.
I know.
That's true.
Oh my gosh, Sophie it would haunt Sophie.
We did this, so we were at this Anderson farm this weekend, and there's like a 5-minute escape room. I'll tell the story real fast. So we were waiting forever to get in there. Bad idea. Don't take your kids in an escape room. So you have to start off, and you're each in this tiny little jail cell. So you have to get out of the cell. As soon as they close the jail cell doors, Lonzo goes, "I'm scared." And then Lane was with me in the other cell, and he started going, "Ah!" So the guy just comes in, he goes, "Push that, punch that, do this," and he's like, "You guys got out." Because the kids were freaking out. They were so scared.
They get scared.
I know.
Papa, you don't want to go to jail.
No.
Good one. That's good.
Good
Use
lesson.
that. Keep that in your back pocket. I know.
I'm scared.
No.
God, you know what someone said in the booth in my ear was the Charlie in the Chocolate Factory when he does that weird boat thing. Everything is growing. Da 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 da.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, with the chicken getting his head cut off.
That sounds wonderful.
You don't remember that?
A boat ride with the nice music.
Yeah. I don't remember the chicken part.
Oh, yeah,
I think it was a cruise.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
It's weird.
All right, we'll be right back.
If you have
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. Today we're talking another makeup mistake that most of you are actually doing. It is the nastiest one of all, if you ask me. Yes, my friend, it's using an old, nasty, dirty butt beauty blender. These are terrible for you. Now, they're not always terrible, so let's break it down real quick. You can use beauty blenders, friends. Now, you can use them brand new. They're great that way. Get them a little wet, they help blend out all that full coverage makeup, and it's seamless. Perfect, keep them moving. You can also use beauty blenders if you're washing them occasionally. These are great. They're a great help when you wash them because they're keeping everything sanitary. Now you can buy a liquid cleanser or you can buy the hard cleanser to actually keep these guys nice and clean, and it'll make a world of difference. But the last thing that I want to see you do, my friend, ooh, don't make Jory for the sleigh mad. The last thing that I want to see you do is put this nasty beauty blender right back in your beauty bag and just let it sit there for 2 more weeks until you put on that full coverage makeup again. Whew, you're looking at a makeup artist's nightmare at that point, my friends, because these guys are just a sponge at the end of the day. These are collecting and harvesting bacteria that can be super harmful to your skin. So, you know that last time that you broke out? You know the last time that your skin felt kind of weird and it stung a little bit? You know that last time that your makeup just didn't turn out right and it had that murky little brown tint to it? It's not because your makeup's bad, it's not because you have bad skincare, you might check out the skincare videos before, and it's not because like you're just a bad person or anything, it's because you have this nasty, dirty wop beauty blender in your bag and you're not cleaning it or taking care of yourself. So with that being said, I have 2 things that might help you. Back to square one, clean your beauty blender. That is gonna be the first and only thing that you can really do to help yourself. And the second one is, you can just use disposable sponges instead, guys. Alcone wedges are a great alternative to beauty blenders, and you can throw them out and keep them moving, and they're super cheap. Now,
welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. 70% of Americans use a credit card, so it's no surprise that credit card fraud is a huge problem. You could fall prey, not even know it. So here's what to look out for. First, beware of skimmers. They are little devices that sit on top of ordinary credit card slots and are designed to steal your info and your PIN number. So next, you gotta be careful at popular places like fast food restaurants. All those customers makes them easy targets for hacking, so make sure to keep your card in view at all times. And lastly, here's one that surprised me. Don't get fooled by free Wi-Fi. Free Wi-Fi allows outsiders to hack your device. They can again gain access to your passwords, photos, even your credit card info. This one I had no idea about, and I'm all about the free Wi-Fi. I'm like at a coffee shop, free Wi-Fi, boom, I'm in, cool. Not cool.
So Joel was, wherever Joel is, was telling us about the skimmer that every time he uses his credit card at a gas station, he pulls on the actual
plastic part.
Yeah,
right. Like
because
the black plastic part, that part?
Right, because apparently when they put them on there, they're not as secure as what it would normally be if it was the real thing. So
what do
he
you do if
pulls
you
every
found a
time.
skimmer?
Go to the
Said to bring it inside.
Okay.
But the restaurants, I feel like, is going to be a thing of the past really soon because we've kind of gone the way of Canada, where they bring the little terminal over. So I feel like after a while, it's going to be obsolete to hand somebody your card and then they disappear into the abyss.
You had seen that in Canada for quite some time before?
In Calgary, I don't think there's any other option.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. It's way more secure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm never going to swipe my card on one of those things without shaking it now.
Me too.
Like if I go to an ATM or a gas station, I'm going to be like, all right.
And then people are going to think you're crazy.
No,
but that
way.
makes sense. I've always used the free Wi-Fi. I never thought about it. But I just got an email from, I think, Zappos that my card was just used in another scam. So I have to do another card. And it's not annoying, but it's just like you already autofill it and then like a new one. And then I don't know who has my stuff.
I know.
It's very weird.
And always change your passwords, they say.
Yeah, I know. And then I can't remember who's who.
I never can.
Oh, my God. I
know.
can't even get in.
I need to get better about writing down my passwords. We'll be right back.
And to protect yourself from fraud, call LifeLock at 1-800-495-8900. 8730.
Hi DBL Nation, it's Raquel here, and I want to talk to you about Gemini Man. Now I know it's been out in theaters for a couple weeks now, but I saw it in 4DX, which is a little bit different. If you haven't heard of this technology, it kind of makes a movie experience feel like you're on a roller coaster ride or some sort of theme park. And this is my second time going to a 4DX movie, and I have to say I enjoyed Gemini Man a lot more as a 4DX experience. Now the first one I saw was Hobbs and Shaw, Fast and Furious movie. So I was like being kicked around and like punched. But this one I felt added to the experience. Now I know on Rotten Tomatoes, critics have panned it, audience have given it a pretty high score. And I have to lean more towards the audience. Usually I agree with the critics, but I say seeing this movie in 4DX was actually enjoyable and fun, and I didn't feel like it was too much. There was water action, you get moved around a lot. There is also like some smell-o-vision, which I'd never known was a thing till now. Pretty fun. The plot, I can see where people kind of have issues with it, and the technology to make Will Smith look like a younger Will Smith, because that's the whole plot of the movie. He's fighting against a younger version of himself. I'm a little up in the air about it, but just the fact that we're going there, sometimes I feel like you need to make the move, even though it doesn't work completely, to make sure like movies in the future can work that way. And with 4DX, pretty happy about that. But DBL Nation, I want to know what you think. Have you heard of a 4DX movie? Do you have questions about it? Let me know, and I'll try to answer them for you, and see you next time.
Welcome back to DBL. Here's a spooky Halloween story for you. 18-month-old baby Lincoln was sleeping peacefully in his crib, but look at what the baby monitor caught on camera. Look closely. You see that right there? It looks like a ghost baby in the crib right next to him. Well, luckily in the morning, everything was not what it seemed when it was discovered that it was just a sticker on the mattress. Why wouldn't you go in if you saw a ghost baby sleeping next to Leighton? Wouldn't you immediately go in and be like, what is that image next to my child?
I'd wake Jordan up and be like, check that out.
Not wait till the morning?
That's so weird.
You know the sticker's there because you always change the crib sheet. Sophie's crib sheet is changed once a week.
Have you ever seen anything weird in Sophie's room? Like,
no, but I look. Sometimes I'll look to see, like, did I just see something? And I never do.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever look at the monitor and like overlook?
No, we never used that monitor because they said people could look in and we got freaked out about
it. You can
like
do one that don't connect to Wi-Fi though. Ours doesn't connect to Wi-Fi.
It's too late now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I did it for just the peace of mind, just so I could like, did I hear her? Nope. Good. Going back to bed. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.